The seals have been broken, and the devils are here. Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Heroes of the Horizon, our powered by Cortex superhero extravaganza. Welcome, everyone. We are going to get into our game as soon as possible. Get into the action. We left off at quite a moment. And we have some returning and guest players tonight, so it's gonna be very interesting, and I look forward to jumping right in with you guys. But first, announcements and shoutouts. All right, let's get into this. Tonight's episode of Heroes of the Horizon, episode 3, entitled Hopes and Dreams. So it is now where we come back to our scene. Glass and Angel standing on the athletics pitch, a large soccer field where different elements can be pulled up from the ground at the behest of the director. All of the graduating class are knocked out on the ground, currently being tended to by rather well protected staff, all of them wearing tactical armor of some kind, something you might see police wearing, going over and checking them while they're on the ground. Glass and Angel in front of the director, who currently holds their tablet in hand.
Director Cooper, when I said to stop this, I didn't mean literally at one time. What did you do?
Oh, this wasn't, this is highly irregular. They've never, been this way. It's just policy. Young, Prometheans, as you know, can be, a danger to themselves and others sometimes, so we make sure that in case of an emergency, should somebody's capabilities get away from them, that we have a way of safely taking care of the situation without hurting them. It's a mild shock to a specific part of the brain, and it knocks them out immediately. They're perfectly fine. We're going to get them to the medical right now to see what's going on. This is so strange. This is very strange. As she starts,
I'm gonna need to look at that tablet of yours.
Oh no, I need to I need this right now. I have a lot to organize right now. I'm sorry. Goes back to tapping away on it. As she says that, a hole in reality opens. A black disc filled with darkness, pinpricks of starlight. And out steps, because he probably had a good preparation for it, Cyperion. Having just been picked up and transported from the Horizon Foundation, he's followed closely behind by Threshold.
That starlight, that was all the rhinestones.
Anyone want to explain why there's a bunch of preteens unconscious on the floor?
Wow, did you beat up high schoolers?
No, it's not what it looks like.
Oh.
They attacked us and were shut down by an electrical shock to part of their brain. Hi, welcome to the Hope Center.
Good old-fashioned American school system.
I mean, I was gonna bitch that you interrupted my beach party that I was gonna crash, but this doesn't seem too bad. This seems fun. Alright, so what? They're all just unconscious? She kind of like...
Pretty much.
Any idea how that happened?
The director steps forward. Hi, I guess you're with the Foundation as well.
She swings her gun behind her. Oh. kids.
Oh dear,
Sorry.
dear.
Usually they don't have me do schools.
Oh please, that is highly unnecessary. Oh god, protocols.
Protocols went out the window the moment your students attacked us.
What? No. We've been following protocols this whole time. This is what this was designed for.
So they're designed to attack us?
No, not their actions are highly irregular. The protocols that are in place made it so that it didn't get out of hand. This is supposed to help us if Pyreside used to have such trouble regulating his temperature because of our implant. He was able to exercise his ability to use his power, and if he got too hot, we were able to help him come down from that.
Wait. You have these kids implanted, as in there's like technology inside of all the students here.
Well, yes, it's necessary. That, like I said, they're young people. They have a great deal of power. There needs to be a way to make sure that they don't hurt themselves or others.
It sounds like it's a more advanced system of what they used to use in the incarceration centers, right? You do need an off button.
Nothing as drastic as what they would use in a prison. Please, this.
I mean,
No.
These kids are kind of knocked out, so I think it's pretty damn drastic.
No. This. It's a quick neural pulse, and they are they have a short stunned moment, and they should be coming around very soon. Oh, this is so.
For some reason, I'm having a hard time believe this. Cyperion, you're good with tech, right?
You know what?
Yes, I am.
Do you think you can have a look at that tablet that she's holding?
No. This is government property. You can't look at this. This is union property. It's proprietary tech. I'm sorry. I can't just.
You could
hand it
probably
over
get
to
in
you.
through mine.
I
And I hold over the tablet that had our vitals on it. We are currently chipped.
Yeah.
All right, let me take a look at this.
I'm
Threshold,
sorry. I'm
please
gonna
don't laugh.
I'm gonna have to ask for you to return that if you're just openly saying that you are going to try and infiltrate my network to my face. No.
Just to look at our vitals.
Yeah, I want to make sure you didn't get those chips in my team so you can, mind control them.
They're
or
not the
something.
same.
Tags aside, the fact that you got a catch and release program, whatever. I get it. There's actual, use for that. What actually happened that they attacked you guys?
Animalia and Primal were in the middle of an exercise. Primal being the shapeshifter
So like Spirit
over there
Day.
with the lion features.
Okay.
Hmm.
Cat Cafe Spirit Day. But was it a fight? Did they argue?
Again,
Seems like got a little heated.
this was highly irregular. They're also very excited to be graduating. The moment might have gotten away from them. Please, wait here. Allow me to check on the students. Make sure they are taken to the appropriate facility, and I will be right back to ensure that everything
Director Cooper,
Yes?
I want to know if it would be possible for me to talk with the students just to make sure that they're okay and to let them know there's no hard feelings after the fight. When they do come to, would I be able to speak with them?
Depending on their current state, if they are calm and they're able to talk, I would not be against it. I just want to make sure that they're okay. That's my main concern, is my students. Now, if you'll excuse me, she turns as now those individuals that are wearing the Union like flak jackets, essentially. They're wearing like SWAT body armor almost. No helmets. But it says Union across the chest and across the back. They now have litters out with grav technology of some kind, because these litters don't need to be held on either end, apparently. They just move the individual onto the litter, press a button, and it just lifted up off the ground, and they're guiding it inside. And that that is when Glass's phone beeps. And then beeps. And then beeps. And then beeps. As a string of one might call hyperactive text messages bombard Glass's phone.
Someone's popular.
The texts read as follows. Docs are working on L. She's going to be fine. Got to tell you about something I saw back there. Director is up to something. Whatever it is bad and kind of scary. Peregrine was acting completely different when I grabbed her. And when I gave her shit, what is it? And when I gave her shit about a sucker punch, her response was, they can't do this to us. As if that wasn't sus enough, I think the director shut them off or something. I saw a weird ring of light fade in one of Peregrine's eyes as she was knocked out. They've got something in their heads that's way bigger than a few tracking vitals. I think they're controlling them or something. Elle really needed to go back in a hurry, or I'd have held on to that kid. I don't trust these people as far as I can. Okay, bad comparison, but you know what I mean. But I'll be back as soon as I can to help. First, I want to show relativity to these damn chips they put in us before it dissolves, or maybe does something to us like it did to the other hero kids. You got this, E. I'll let you know when I'm headed back your way.
Oh God, she really needs to learn how to use punctuation.
Oh yeah, that had no punctuation. It was just string of text after string of text.
I'm gonna assume that was hype.
That was hype, actually. Here, and I hold my phone over for you guys to read through the text messages.
Oh wow, yeah, you're right. She sucks at texting.
Oh, hope they made it over there okay.
She must have if she's texting. She wouldn't text and fly and carry an Amalia at the same time. I think. She might. Never mind.
Yeah, she would. So
Remember, don't text and fly.
So she also has an idea that these chips that might be in you may be a little more sinister than just a simple vital check.
The ring in the eye seems fun, at least.
I know nothing
You have
about
the same,
that kind of thing, but
You have the same chips in you right now.
Mm-hmm.
not the same thing.
Well,
At least that's what the director just said.
Yeah, I really
Apparently.
think we should get those out of you. I know it's rich coming from me, talking about machines inside of you, but you probably should get rid of those if that's the kind of ability it can do.
Well, apparently what they told us before injecting it into us, it would apparently dissipate after a certain amount of time, which I do not believe at all.
Yeah, I'm
well,
not
I
buying
guess-
that either.
Process of elimination, right? We're assuming that it's the chip, so let's get the chip out of you, right, for now, so you don't have to worry about it, because then you're not going to be paying attention to anything else, because you can be like, right? So, we could do that.
Lucky
Or
for
he could do
you,
that,
this
right? We could do
seems to
that?
be this is pretty much in my ballpark. I'm pretty sure I can handle these chips easily. Cybernetics and
Well,
kind
if
of
you
my
want to
thing.
take a look, it looks like we have a couple minutes to ourselves, and actually, Angel, I need to talk to you.
Can I see
Oh.
that tablet while you guys
Okay.
chat?
Yeah, sure.
Thanks.
And I hand over the tablet so you can watch my vitals.
That was not what I was going to do, but I'm glad you're as chilly as ever.
Always.
Alright,
I'm
so-
going to pull everyone to the side of the bleachers where we kind of were standing at the moment, away from prying ears. Angel,
Yes.
what was with the blatant hatred for Pyreside? You are aware that you are also a Promethean, and the face of Prometheans. To hate one so outward, that's not a good look.
You weren't there. You wouldn't understand.
Make me understand before I find a way to put you on the sidelines and not have you be a part of this right now, because we need everyone to know that these are just kids. Yeah, they have abilities, but they are children.
All right.
What is going on? What happened?
This was a few years back when I was training in the Forgotten City. A similar being of that sort appeared in the Forgotten City.
That sort? What do you mean that sort?
That same being, like pure fire, can't see the face, same appearance. Appeared.
Okay, so someone made a fire.
Like exactly similar to what Pyreside looked like. That said being burned down the city, left nothing for any of us. He even killed my mentor, Kailan.
How many years ago was this? Angel, how many years ago was this? So you think a 14-year-old kid did that?
I don't even know if that being is even 14 years old. How do we even know?
Innocent until proven guilty, Angel. Always. Otherwise, I wouldn't be friends with this one. And I pointedly look over at Threshold.
She's fucking with the tablet sitting on one of the chairs.
Yeah, you go.
I mean, I do apologize if I had this, if my emotions got the better of me, but it's not, I wouldn't say the person themselves that's gotten me fired up. It's the power, the appearance of said person.
This is going to sound like, listen, I understand what happened in this Forgotten City, and Kailan was awful. But you cannot take it out on someone you don't know was the one who did it, just because you're fearful of what they look like. Okay?
Just thinking about this, it haunts me every day. And just seeing this being just come out. They killed Kailan in front of me. I have nothing left of... There was no ashes left of Kailan. The only thing I have left to remember Kailan is this amulet.
What kind of person was your mentor?
He was someone that would accept anyone without any prejudice, racism, or anything.
Angel, would Kailan be proud of how you're acting today?
No, I don't think he would.
So I'm going to need you to take a couple deep breaths. And Glass is going to go over and put her arms on Angel's shoulder and then just pull him in for a hug. You're never not going to miss somebody, but try to remember their teachings. And try to be a good example for those around you, okay? That's why you're here. That's why we're all here. You are a fantastic person. I know that you are. Otherwise, you wouldn't be on this team with me.
Thank you, Glass.
And if it makes you feel better, when we were in the cube, I made half of his fire go away. So all you have to do is stick by me, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess so.
Okay. So for right now, just take a deep breath. We need to figure out what's happening with these kids in the center. And we'll go from there, okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
Before.
Okay, good. And I freeze his tears to his face and walk away.
Really, Glass?
Yeah.
While that was going on, Threshold and Cyperion were nearby, not being too intrusive, still within perfect earshot.
I'll
But
eavesdrop, but I don't want to be close enough that I have to involve myself.
they were totally looking at the tablet, though. So I'm gonna actually have you guys, between the two of you, decide who's the primary person looking at the tablet. Okay.
I'll take the tablet.
All right. So whoever's helping, I'm gonna need the asset generation for help.
Alrighty. So would this be a wits technology?
This is going to be, yes, wits, tech. You have a...
I have specialty and security. So if I'm trying to get access to the kids' specs, 'cause I heard them wish listing around me. You don't ask to get in somewhere in front of Threshold without her trying.
You know what? Yeah, I'll allow that to step up. Then appropriate distinction.
Old habits die hard.
And finally, do you have a power that you think would help with tech?
No,
No?
that's on her. Unless
Well,
there's a weird mini game in there. That
then no power.
All right.
No power added to this. Let me generate your difficulty quick. Ooh. Appropriately difficult. It is a 13.
13. My
Mhm.
goodness. Oh, you're gonna make me use my D12? Fine. 16 with a D8 effect.
Okay, so Cyperion, you're going to build the same pool. So wits...
Yeah, I have it.
Oh, you have it ready?
Yeah.
Well, you get to add a D8
Yeah.
to that. Because of...
Yeah,
Threshold's
I have an ability when it comes to this stuff.
Okay. Also add in Threshold's D8 help die. And you're
Okay.
trying to beat that 13.
Oh, I beat it all right. I got 14 with a D10.
Okay. Well, turns out that for something to connect to a... essentially a wireless LAN, it also needs to kind of work off of the central program, which is downloaded from the wide area network, or cloud, as it has been referred to in recent years. I still wish it was a WAN, like it is in Shadowrun, but that's just me.
It's okay. Tuesday we'll have a ween.
God damn it.
You invited me.
So getting access to said cloud isn't that. Well, it was difficult, but you were able to get into it. So I will allow you. And what was your effect die, by the way?
D10.
D10. So that will give you... I will give you... You can ask me 3 questions about data on the server, and I will respond with that information.
Okay, so first question I wanted to ask, does this chip induce mind control further than just setting off the nervous system?
From what you can see, no, it is not designed to do any kind of control that would affect somebody's cognitive function.
Okay.
From what you can see, it
second
shocks and turns
question-
people off.
Okay. Second question, is there an explosive in this chip?
No.
Okay. Third question, do these chips actually dissolve and go away permanently, or do they go through the central nervous system to control a person over time?
It appears that the design feature is that there's a dissolution time that you can set on any of the implants. So you can have them be permanent, or you can set them to dissolve after a day or so. The minimum amount of time is 24 hours.
Okay. All right. So from what I can come up with from this tablet, these things won't control you guys, so you don't have to worry about you guys becoming mindless servants. There's
Well,
no explosive
capitalism.
in these chips, so you don't have to worry about your heads being blown up. And it looks like you can only either have these permanent or for a fixed amount of time, with the minimum being 24 hours.
Well, that lines up with what the director told us. We'd have 24 hours with this chip before it dissolved.
Okay, so for how long have you had these chips in you, by the way?
About a couple of hours.
Yeah.
Okay,
Couple
so
hours.
we have, let's say 20 to 22 hours left of you guys having these chips in you as a minimum. But as
Although,
long as these chips are in you, he could shut your powers off the same way he did these kids.
yeah, although I would rather have this taken out than, wait the whole 24 hours, because who knows what would actually happen, if it will actually dissolve or actually do something else.
That was
Well,
my
we'll be
point
able to,
exactly.
we'll be able to have relativity check it as well when we get back. Hype is there, and hopefully getting her to look at it. I texted her about it, but it went into the stack,
Oh,
which means it won't be seen for 2 weeks. So
great.
If you were here, that means this was a PR thing, right?
Yep, we were here to meet the graduating class. We ended up doing some field exercises against them,
Yeah, okay.
showing off our abilities.
Very heartwarming. Was there footage?
Yeah,
Has anyone
it was
checked
being
it out?
recorded the entire time, and I have some on my phone.
Oh, give me your phone.
Well, you know I always record everything. You can't take the photographer out of a girl.
Oh God, how long is? Is this the opening ceremonies as well? She just throws the phone at glass. I need why don't we check out the footage of when, the kids went berserk. The powers.
That's actually a pretty good idea.
Yeah, that's one thing. At least we understand roughly how that works, but we have no idea what started the fight.
Yeah, all right. You're not wrong. Glass is going to go through and find the time when Primal started hitting the targets and then turned and growled at Animalia. And Animalia hissed back.
Yeah, you do notice that Animalia wasn't exactly backing down from the moment. So to recap, looking in this looking at the footage, you're able to see Primal, who is like 7'6", broad-shouldered, extremely athletic and built body. A lot in the shoulders. A mane of red hair that wraps around their head like a lion's mane, actually running down their spine a bit as well. Their face extends forward even a little bit, just ever so slightly mimicking a Leonid muzzle, where they have massive jaws, retractable claws in hands that are almost... they're starting to be paw-like, where they would... if they were any more paw-like, you would lose all manual dexterity. But there are toe beats. And the legs... his feet are still humanoid in shape. They're not like digigrade legs or anything like that. The heels does seem a little bit elongated though, and he's never off of his toes. So it does give him a little bit of that always ready to pounce kind of stance. This massive beast of an individual roars and charges Animalia in the footage. I would like wits awareness from anybody watching said footage. Yeah, kind of like Char, I guess. Yeah, a little bit. Those of you who like Guild Wars.
That sound like we fucking talked about Guild Wars. Did you just say Guild Wars?
It's more like if you took like if you took a Beast and Sabretooth and like mashed them together and made him a redhead.
Difficulty?
Ooh, let me generate that.
Should they all go berserk at the same
8.
time, or that's not bad.
8.
From what you can see, they did all. As soon as Primal did what he did, everyone else followed suit with their actions. All right, so difficulty was an 8. What has everybody got?
Who to start?
Yeah. All right.
I got a 9.
Okay.
Oh.
What was your
I got 11.
effect die?
Oh, sorry.
Oh, I only rolled 2 dice. I didn't have an ability for that.
Ah. Oh, you always get a distinction. Wait, you don't have anything in awareness?
No.
Okay.
I mean, the only things you get, I have is intelligence and reflexes. I don't think for what we had for super intelligence counts for this.
So then you should have rolled 3 dice. Wits, awareness, and a distinction. Always remember your distinctions.
Okay.
Oh,
Face.
duh. Sorry.
Can
No,
we
it's
re-roll?
cool.
Or just roll the
Just roll the missing
die?
die. So if pick
okay.
an appropriate distinction and then roll a d8.
Okay. All right. So I guess my effect die would be the D8 then.
All right.
Okay. So 9
So
with the
9
d8.
with a D8.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Angel?
7 and 2.
I got an 11 with an effect die of D8.
Cool. What did Glass get?
14 with a D8 stepped up to a D10.
Very cool. And Threshold.
16 with a D10, so D12 effect die.
Damn.
Yeah, stepped up to a d12.
Good shit.
Everybody sees the moment where Primal goes full Primal and charges into Animalia. Everyone notices that there's a little bit of artifacting. There's there's pixelization. Glass notices that said artifacting is centered around Primal. And Threshold notices that it's a silhouette superimposed over Primal and not Primal's silhouette. Something you can't properly discern.
So like I don't know if anyone else watches horror movies or anything. Does anyone else see like a vaguely other shape? Right? Like here, look.
It's centered around Primal.
And it kind of looks like a I don't know, like if you had done the photo you would have been bitching about like the quality's shitty, right? Because there's some artifacting, but it's in a shape.
Okay, so artifacting is not in my skill set.
Once it's
But I
pointed
do
out,
see what you're talking about.
It looks like a double exposure.
once it's pointed out, you can kind of see what it looks like, and it does look like a double exposure. It does look like it looks humanoid, but it's very vague and strange.
It's like a weird shadowy figure is taking it over.
Oh, yeah. Now that you mention it.
Like,
Oh, yeah. There it is.
proportionally, does it look smaller, bigger?
It looks smaller.
Oh, wait.
So
What if we go to the other footage of the other people when they went all...
I'm gonna admit after this I stopped recording because I was responding and froze him to the ground, so...
Can you just, like, bat your eyelashes at a reporter or something?
Well, they recorded the entire thing on their drones for PR purposes, so I'm sure we'll be able to get access to some of it.
we're gonna start looking for a shadowy figure in all these drone footage then.
You can see the drones hovering just above the field, still kind of floating about, keeping an eye on everything.
Do you want me to shoot one down?
No, we're still trying to make nice.
Really?
I just hope those are not listening to us right now.
I don't know.
Threshold.
What? You're not my boss anymore. Fuck off. So, how do we get the footage?
We ask nicely. And I start stepping towards Director Cooper.
Director Cooper
You
went
got
in
this.
with the kids, so you're currently
Oh,
you're currently outside, waiting for Director Cooper to return. You've kind of been given a little bit of free reign to move about. Well, they asked you to stay on the field.
So, question. If there's a drone, safe to say there's a control panel somewhere, correct?
There's
Because if I
gotta
get a
be a
hold of the
control
control
point.
panel, I can get anything I want out of these drones.
I'll do you one better. Let's have you roll. Since you're
Okay.
taking the point on this, which I absolutely am down for. Wits, technology. Pick an appropriate distinction, and your super intelligence would very much come into handy right now.
Okay. All right.
And your difficulty is a 12.
Okay, so I got a 13,
There you go.
and
Effect die.
my effect die is a D10.
All right, all right. You realize that, yeah, there has to be a control panel around here somewhere. Where could it be? Where could it be? Oh, tablet that you're currently holding. That
Okay.
is set up to their network that you've already kind of punched in. So
All right, cool.
it just takes you a couple of seconds to move through some of the navigation, and you find yourself in the footage dump.
Okay. Bingo. Found the footage.
Ah, I kind of was
All
hoping
right,
let's
let me
get the.
just see.
I'm sorry. I'm not actually disappointed. I'm a little disappointed. What do we got?
I'm going towards, well, I got multiple different angles of this footage, so let's try out drone number 1 first.
Basically, pick which one you want to look at.
Okay, this one has an aerial view looking down on the field,
Okay.
but close enough that you could see.
Ah. So essentially, they had a drone on each of. It seems like they had a drone on each of their students. So you can pick from Primal, Pyre Side, Gauss, or Peregrine.
Let's look at Primal first, since that's the one we were just looking at. I want to get a different angle of it.
It's a similar kind of artifacting that you notice. Now that you're looking for it, you know what to look for. You can definitely see it, and from above, it's not exactly clearer, but you can see it does kind of mimic Primal's stance, while not being the same size.
Okay, I'm gonna suggest everyone. I'm gonna pretty much assume everyone saw that too, correct?
I think that counts as a confirmation.
Okay.
Mhm.
So
So
to be
there's definitely
curious,
something else at play here.
does it show up for everyone?
Let's look at the next student.
So there's a speedster, a magnetic manipulator, and a pyrokinetic.
Let's look at the pyrokinetic next.
Okay.
See what this one's talking about.
Pyre side didn't have a chance to really get anything. It didn't have a chance to respond in the moment. They got hit just before. And it's a little bit more difficult to notice any artifacting because Pyre side specifically gives off so much light, and you do notice that at the same frame count compared to Primals, their core peaks a little bit, and you get some blowout on the camera from their core. They get brighter at the core.
Okay, this footage is a little harder to look at compared to someone like Primal.
Look at Peregrine.
Wait, are
All
we
right.
with the flash at the core, right? Like he gets a little like angry. Are we thinking that that's just a natural fluctuation, or was that? Do you think that was the intent that it was also going to affect this person as well?
It's a possibility, but it's really hard to tell because since they give off so much heat and fire, we really can't make it out in this image unless we take it to like we can fully analyze it. I don't know if we can really do that on this tablet.
I don't think that's shot in RAW.
Is there any way you can extract all that footage and just take it with you?
Potentially yes. Do we have the time for that though?
I want you to look at Peregrine's.
All right, let me go to Peregrine's.
Peregrine is the one who punched Angel and got picked up by Hype.
Okay.
Obviously had a chance to react, and apparently something was off about her.
All right,
Her
here's the
height.
footage. Here's
So
the footage here.
you're looking at they're all wearing similar blue and black I wouldn't call it armor. It's definitely suits. One of them is actually Pyresides has like vents on it that are manually controlled that he uses to stoke his flame. But Peregrine's seems to be made of a thinner material. You see this, 5'6", hair swept back, shaved close on the sides, hawkish features. And then you don't see her. Because she moves that fast. The drone takes a second to kind of catch up with Peregrine's motions. Kind of like when a automated... I don't know if anybody else has watched these plane footage when it has automated tracking. When targeting systems are trying to pick up a fast-moving object and then they can track. So there's this moment of like, whoop, that went by, and then it just kind of catches up a couple of seconds later.
Fucking UFOs.
Yeah, fucking UFO videos. It catches up, and you can see, after freeze framing, after the punch, you can see that, yeah, she also has a mimicked body form, sort of an artifacting on her. And it's very similar to Primal's. This one's a little more dominant in the frame, though, because it's about the same size as Peregrine. As compared to Primal, you take that same body size and you put that in a 7-foot-tall dude, it's kind of like difficult to differentiate the size.
Okay, so clearly you can see it in this image here. Our shadowy figure friend is also here, Peregrine, as well.
How long
So this one's a little more appropriate to size.
does it just show up around this like timestamp, or is it there the entire fucking time? How long is it there before
Which-
they go?
With Speedster, it's a little hard to tell since they're moving at such a fast
Yeah.
movement speed. Going through the footage, the camera is trying to catch up to it with auto tracking. But even if you slow it down, you could see the shadow in their after image. So, unlike, it's weird because this one is almost the same size. And despite the fact Peregrine's a speedster, they had no problem tagging her. But let's check the final one just to make sure that same image is located in there, because this is something that's in all of them. we may be able to have. We maybe have something. We have to edit. We have to go through Pyroside's footage a little more, but we might have something here. So let's look at the last student.
Gauss didn't even have an opportunity to move. There's this moment where I take that back. He did have an opportunity to move. It's just that it wasn't much of a movement because the kill switch, quote unquote, was activated so quickly. As he was sitting there, that same proportions that you saw on Primal and on Peregrine artifact in just at the same timestamp. And he just sits upright, looks, and you see his arms starting to move to start taking the rings, the metal rings that he uses to create the mag tunnel off of his arms before it all shuts off. And you notice that the artifacting ends as soon as they're knocked out.
How familiar are we with various Promethean abilities for, like, puppetry and this type of mental control?
Well, that would require a intelligence science Prometheans or an intelligence occult test.
Oh. Mhm.
Where my D6 is at.
Remember your distinction as well as your power if you have super intelligence of some kind.
I've been using the same dice.
Your
so far each
difficulty
roll.
your difficulty is a 9. I'll be
Nice.
right back.
9!
9!
9!
Oh.
Ooh,
Okay.
Yeah, you
I have
can be
like
mad at me.
like a coworker that can get all fiddly in your brain.
Okay.
You gonna be mad at me.
Yeah, I'm gonna be real mad at me too.
I got 2 8s and a 7.
Oh no, I brought you the hitches.
Oh god.
No, you
Yeah.
didn't.
Oh, that reminds me, I have points to turn in.
Oh no, you can't do it while you're here.
Break the
Is
rules.
that against the rules?
I mean,
I didn't
I'm
see
not
anything about that in the
technically
rules.
a staff member of
Okay.
this show.
I think I'm good for this one then. I'm good for this one.
Yeah, I'm definitely good for this one.
I just made. Stop it! Stop it!
I don't know what
Give
you're
us-
talking about.
Give us dice.
It's the last time I ask you for help. I trust you. Kind of.
Listen, you gotta find shit in the chaos. But yeah, like I was saying,
She's
I
not
have
a bad
coworker-
guy.
No, I have a coworker who actually goes into people's brains all fiddly bit. So, you know, that is a thing.
Really?
Some people can do that. Don't ask me how.
Now, see, Angel, we are not the only ones who work for Horizon. You are aware of this, right?
No, actually, no. This is new to me. Please elaborate. I want to know more.
So you guys get the parades. My team gets the slop.
Huh?
We take care
The
of the
reason-
shit you guys can't be seen touching.
Yeah, that's kind of near like files if you get the chance to look at them.
Well, okay, that's interesting.
They're like the shadow
Yeah.
ops.
You see, there are some people that don't have to worry about PR because if the public finds out about them, it's already too late.
So, a ghost squad, if you will.
Yeah,
Well, that's
a task force who takes on missions in the shadows while
that's
we are
interesting.
being paraded around.
I had
Okay,
my fill of
okay.
the parade. I did my time. I'm supposed to not have to do schools anymore.
All right.
I mean, I'm not saying I'm against it. I'm actually interested knowing that there's another team that does stuff like that.
Horizon's very busy.
I need those rolls now. So difficulty was a 9.
Oh,
What did we? I'll go down in the opposite order. Threshold first. What'd
I
you get?
failed with 2 hitches.
You failed with 2 hitches.
And I gave a doom die.
Yay! Hitches, yay!
Oh,
Glass.
great.
11 with the D6.
Yeah, see, you got this. You're fine.
Okay. Angel.
I got 11, and my effect die is a D8. Oh no, D10. Sorry.
Cool. Very cool. And Cyperion.
15 with a D10 die, effect die.
All right. All right. So that means I get stepped up to a D12. All right. So Angel and Cyperion have a better idea of this. Glass, you know that there is... Promethean expression is wide. Sometimes Promethean expression is extremely obvious and apparent. Think Pyre side. It's something that they can't really control. It's just something that they are. Sometimes it's more subtle, where the expression is a increased capacity for mental computations, to the point where they are as fast as a supercomputer. There's
Like me.
expressions that are subtle. There are expressions that make them, that give them aptitude at a skill set. So there might be somebody with perfect harmonizing pitch and the ability to replicate the noise perfectly. There might be somebody that has the ability to hover just 6 inches off the ground at all times, although it would be very useful for some people I know.
Yeah.
Not exactly the most prominent superpower. Angel and Cyperion, though, know that when it comes to these kinds of effects, there's 2 sources. Psionic or occult. Prometheans with the ability to learn the occult, it is a very difficult task, but there are those who have aptitude gifted to them by their Promethean expression that allows them to tap into that or learn it faster. And then there are those whose minds are just that far advanced that they're actually able to affect others. With their mind. The psionic bend. So there are ways of testing for both. There are ways for looking for both. But that's the information you have.
Okay. So basically, my guess would be we're dealing with someone who has either psionic or occult powers who are capable of controlling people to some varying degree. It seems like they have to be conscious in order for control to take place, because obviously the chips had knocked out the students and they aren't able to do complete puppetry. So there has to be some form of mental link, and if someone's unconscious, they're not able to use their powers fully. But it looks like they can do it to multiple people at once. So that's kind of a problem.
Why? Not
So
why,
what you're
like-
saying is I should have had you bring Demi.
Well, you know what? Demi can't beep beep get the bus, so you got an A. Question to you. Has anyone gotten a read off of the staff here? I mean, the entire purpose of this was a PR event to make them look good, and ideally, this does not do that, right? So, who's got the, like, best interest to fuck this up? I mean, other than you, right?
So far, the only staff member I've spoken to is Director Cooper, who seemed just as confused and upset about the situation as we were.
Did you meet all the students or just a select group?
Just the 4 of the graduating class. That's what we were scheduled to meet, and we ended up having a showing off contest. Find out whose was bigger.
Okay, so I'm gonna do a shot in the dark here. It is possible that either a teacher or a student sabotaged this, knowing that this would be recorded to make make us look like we're fighting amongst each other. It's a potential possibility that that is exactly what's happening, but if all the staff and teachers are chipped, maybe we can look through the tablet and see who has what kind of powers. Is that a possibility? Do you guys know if we have that ability to do so?
We could make it that, or we go through the offices, right? The tablet's not the only place they keep information in this place.
We're
Exactly, there has to
supposed
be
to do a
something.
walk around.
Oh my god, I would love to see the grounds of this place. Glass, my dear Glass, I long to know what these classrooms look, what tile floor they yeah.
I missed you, but I also didn't.
It's because I'm always here.
During the worst times. No.
Anyway, you get what I'm saying, right? If we can't get it off the tablet, what's stopping us from going somewhere else and finding what we need elsewhere?
There has to be a main computer in this facility. Everything we would need would most likely be in there.
Well, the thing is, we don't know where it is, though.
So we're gonna have the director show us where it is, because those students come back or conscious again. What's stopping them from attacking us as soon as they're conscious again? You know?
Well,
Yeah.
we went most of the exercise without any sort of control. Someone must have known it was being recorded, and getting towards the end of it, I don't think anything would happen in a medical facility, but we won't know for sure. We can be cautious, but I do need to speak with them and make sure they're okay.
Okay. So let's talk to the students, make sure they're okay.
And we can get lost
then we need
after
to get-
that.
Then we can get lost after that and find a computer room. If the director won't show us it, we'll have to find it.
Okay. Now, did you say you were checking the tablet first?
No, we're gonna check on the students first.
Okay.
Then we'll see if the director will take us to the computer room and see if we can get some questions or answers.
So there is a main horseshoe-shaped building that kind of half encircles the athletics field.
Think UA.
Yeah, it's a 3-story modern school building. And you can see that there are a few exterior facilities as well. There looks to be a large indoor gymnasium nearby with very high ceilings. We're talking like it is the only building taller than the main school building. So a 4-story vaulted ceiling of a stadium style gym. You also see that there is some probably utility sheds, things like that, just on the outskirts of the athletics field. And then there's the main doorway right up the middle, as well as an entrance in the middle of each of the extending forked sections. So there's basically 3 doors to head through. There is obviously, though, the main door, and if that's essentially what you were looking to do, to follow through, the main door is directly ahead. I will have a wits awareness test before you enter into the building.
Are there any staffers still around?
Yes, there
we
are
were
a few.
told to stay out here.
There are a few that seem to be dealing with the fallout of what happened in the stadium area.
I should have asked what the difficulty was before I rolled. But
Yeah, I was waiting.
Sorry about that.
No.
No, it's this. It is a 7. Is the difficulty.
Okay.
Because remember, you can use hero points to add a die ahead of time.
mhm.
So, let's go down the line. Threshold.
11 with a D10.
Okay. Glass.
13. What was the difficulty?
7.
Okay, so my D8 becomes a D10 effect die.
Mm-hmm. Angel.
I rolled 2 hitches.
Yay, that's
Oh,
a point
Lord.
for me.
Yes, red team. I could tell by your clothing you're one of us.
I thought you were the blue team.
We're infiltrating you from
I
within.
can only take advantage of those. I only get 1 point if you roll multiples. And Cyperion.
I got an 8 with a D10 effect die.
Okay, so a pair of D10s and a D12 on the effect dice. You hear machining off past the building as you're walking up. It seems as though it's moving around the building, heading towards the front. But you can't see anything from where you are. Who got to the 12 with their step up?
I got a D10 with the step up.
So it got to a D12, or you had a D8 on
No, it went to a D10. It
Went
was a
to a
D8
D10.
to a
The number
D10.
I rolled an 11.
No, you didn't
Okay.
step yours up. Okay. The D10s notice that birds scatter just to the east, just of the east wing.
What the hell is that?
We can get lost and find out now.
You want to go investigate and come back later?
The kids will still be alive-ish when you come back, I'm sure. They got like a long life ahead
And
of
we
them.
were told to stay outside. I guess it's still staying outside if we go to check out what that noise is.
All right, let's go.
All right.
Look at this, I'm getting you guys to abandon the rules. This is good.
Not abandoning, just
Mhm.
bending.
Mhm.
Sometimes you have to do that.
That's how it starts.
Moving around the east wing, that's where the birds flew from, sorry. Tracking around the east wing of the building. As you get to the other side, you are confronted by a pair of metallic trees. Well, at first, they look like a pair of metallic trees. As you follow them up, you realize they don't have branches, but they join at a waist and then follow into a torso. And you realize you are looking at a 2-story tall piece of armor.
Okay, that is cool.
Cyperion! Specifically Cyperion. No one else. Make a wits technology test. With
I swear.
the appropriate
I'm gonna roll
background.
tonight.
With the appropriate distinction and your super intelligence.
Take a shot every time I do the same roll.
We'd be dead.
If it's hey,
Alright.
you do tech. That's your specialty.
It
That's a
is my
good thing.
specialty, yeah.
All right,
Well, what's my difficulty to be?
a 4 because I rolled a pair of 2s on a fucking pair of D10s.
Wow. I mean,
Oh man, I should just use
Go
my
ahead.
ability and just kill it.
Oh, it's
whatever
gonna be
it
real
is.
fucking. It's gonna be real fucking obvious now,
Yeah.
unless you totally fucking.
Oh, it will.
oh no, why would you say that?
Okay, so I have to beat a 4.
Yep.
Should I just go for overkill or make it simple?
No, keep it.
Okay, so
This is a knowledge test. What would your effect die be otherwise?
it's either gonna be a D8 or a D10, but if I want a D10 effect die, my number is 15.
Ooh, it's gonna
Hmm.
step up anyway.
It's gonna step up.
Yeah, my
twice.
effect die is gonna be a D10.
So it steps up to a D12, and then it steps up a die that didn't exist before. So your effect dice are a D12 and a D6 on an intelligence roll.
How is that not the overkill?
What the?
Well, my D10s were both 8, and then no, sorry, 8, 7, 9, and 6.
I'm gonna send this in Discord.
Ooh, secrets are always fun.
I'm gonna send this in Discord like a scumbag.
Spinning like Vanna White across the set. It's fine.
I'm trying to think. I'm getting really good rolls.
Ooh,
So,
look at his eyebrows. He's doing the thing.
no, I'm terrified of the eyebrow sometimes.
The upward look twinkle. Also
Yeah, I don't really know what to
signature.
expect. I don't know if I messed up or.
I can see them, but it's weird not experiencing them, like, in person.
Yeah, at least I could see them now because I'm wearing sunglasses. Usually staring into the light is a little bit difficult. Nothing hides from me now. Except for this roll. This one did. But
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
very much so.
Even chat knows the eyebrows.
Excuse me. My corset plus weather change means
Oh.
lung issues.
Mm.
Oh wow, that's dirty.
Well,
Oh,
who
that's
doubles
really
like him?
dirty.
Oh, this is fun.
Okay, this is gonna be funny. Okay, should I just? Do you want to storyboard it first, or you just want me to go into it?
Oh, well, okay, so to reestablish, we have a 2-story tall humanoid armor looking down, has a singular monocular visor with a red point that shifts back and forth, tracking like a single eye as it looks down. It's pretty sleek design. Fully digitized hands that are reminiscent of human hands, though lacking a pinky finger. So three fingers and a thumb. There are shoulder-mounted boxes. You are not 100% sure exactly what's within them,
Kittens.
but they are set back. Yes, they're kitten launchers.
Yes.
They're set slightly back, but you can see the tracks on the shoulder, as well as forearm boxes that sit underneath the arm piece. And there is a familiar logo in the center. Now you can take it away.
Okay, guys. So I'm gonna be 100% blunt with you. That drone in front of us was created by my dad.
That's a drone?
Yeah,
That
it's an
is not a drone.
AI-controlled android.
What?
That makes the fucking battery
Yeah.
look tame. What the
Wow.
hell? Why is it so big?
Okay.
Because my father tried to copy what my powers were, and instead of doing that, he created that.
Oh.
Why?
Because he can't have me. So
Ooh, daddy issues.
It-
All right.
It
Okay,
leans forward and gazes across all 4 of you.
no, this is gonna be fun.
Targets identified.
What do you mean targets?
Return to designated area. Comply.
Real friendly.
Yeah, these things are kind of very anti-Promethean.
Well, that's a problem. Do you know?
And it's at a
Oh.
Promethean
well.
school.
Yeah, it looks like these ones are being controlled in order to be security for the school, and their job
Okay.
is to keep us here.
Security.
Okay.
Oh.
Challenge
Okay.
accepted.
What? Designated area, I'm going to assume the fields?
The boxes slide forward on the shoulders. Return to
Okay.
designated area.
That's
Okay,
not
Yeah,
a
last
they're not
time-
really talkative.
Wait,
Okay, the last time I dealt with something that had rocket launchers, I took an RPG to the face. So we need to let's go back.
Wait, so if a kid goes tardy and cuts class, they're getting a rocket to the face?
Yeah,
That's,
my father's not very as free spirited as I am.
Are you returning to the playing field, the athletics field?
Yeah, but I take a picture of the robot next to the school.
So if any of the kids misbehave, that thing shoots them. That's a way of discipline.
I mean, last time I checked, they didn't have non-lethals in them, so I'm guessing the students don't break the rules here.
Okay,
Much.
but buddy, you just said your dad made it to be like you, right? Threshold
Yeah.
like throws an arm around. So that means you know how to turn it off, right?
Technically,
Technically.
yeah.
Yeah.
You have to destroy it.
Oh well, I could do that too. Fuck! She just like pushes them off. Yeah, I could hit that off button all day, and she just pats the gun along her back.
So this is
Yeah,
as
the
you were
original
walking back to the
prototype should-
athletic field? This
Yes.
conversation was happening?
If they're following Glass, Glass is walking back to the athletic field.
I just want to make
prototypes
sure
of things
everybody's
are easy
walking and
hack.
talking and not talking shit in front of this giant
Temptations there.
robot.
I mean,
Yeah, we still got
early
Angel.
prototypes would be
We still got
hackable.
Angel with a D10 of stress.
oh,
So
yeah.
I would prefer not to get into.
Oh.
You know what? What? That was physical pain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pain.
We'll call that conversation you had by the bleachers a transition scene. So I will allow you to step back that D10 to a D8.
D8? Okay. All right, let me get rid. Okay.
I knew he was gonna do that at some point.
All right. Okay.
As you are walking back to the athletics field, you see Director Cooper walking out of the main building and walking towards you, holding iPad at almost like rifle parade rest. The way she's walking with this thing, very direct and efficient walk. I'm Thank you for waiting. They are awake, and you said you wish to talk to them, and it seems like they are. Well, they don't seem to be out of sorts. They're actually kind of confused. So long as you don't press them too hard, I would request they are children, or they're just graduating school, and I just had a very traumatic experience. They're very confused. I would ask that you don't push them too hard. But
I am very aware, and I don't think that this was their fault.
oh, well, we don't think so either. So what we were thinking of doing is yeah, absolutely letting you have a little one-on-one time with them. Of course, we'll be monitoring the whole conversation to make sure that we can check our data to see if there's anything we can glean from their reactions.
Also, Director, me and you're gonna have to have a conversation after this.
Sorry,
Your security
we weren't-
guard's a little overkill.
I'm confused. We weren't introduced officially. I'm Director Cooper. You two arrived after the incident. And you are?
Yeah.
She holds a hand out.
Hi, I'm Cyperion. My dad created the killer robots you have as security guards outside.
It's a very interesting way of referring to our union reps.
Union
Well,
rep.
considering I had to fight several of those things over the course of my life, I think the reason why they're so good is because I keep destroying them.
They're purely security for our facilities. Understanding, of course, again, You
Ever heard of
understand of all
security
that
guards that don't shoot death lasers and rockets?
but I would like to point out that you of all would be very aware, all four of you would be very aware of the bad opinions and the ill-natured feelings of many ignorant people towards our students require that they have an extra level of professional protection.
Have you had any trouble with protests, that kind of thing lately?
Well, lately, no. We have in the past. It's the nature of things. I'm fairly sure that the square that Relativity built in front of the Horizon Foundation was never intended to just be the housing and staging area of all protests against the Foundation. It's a lovely little piece of plaza that now just is a stomping ground and a parade for the ignorant. But you understand that we've had a few things. We try to keep our students private here. Their identities are not fully known to the outside, but family members talk, and we can't be fully tight-lipped. We try our best, though, and occasionally word does get out that we're not just a regular old boarding school here.
She puts
Yeah,
the
you can
card
tell
up.
by the giant 2-story killer robot outside.
Security.
Yeah, security. Those things were created based off of my powers and abilities.
They're not equipped with lethal means. Just want to put that out there.
It's not lethal. Looks
I
like
highly doubt that, considering that the prototypes ran through me since I was 15.
Actually, roll wits insight and distinction. Difficulty is an 8.
Insight isn't a skill.
Empathy. I made
I don't
empathy a
have
skill,
empathy.
right?
Empathy and insight are swapped for our vampire game versus this game. That's why we keep.
Oh, I do have empathy. I've never actually just rolled for it before.
That's an awful thing to be surprised. I'm empathetic. Wow.
I am
If it makes you
Well,
feel
no, at
better.
first I was like, I never saw that before because I've always done the same rolls.
I too have human feelings.
Hello, fellow human.
Yeah, just ignore the killer robot inside me. What was my difficulty to be?
It was an 8.
Okay, so I got a 11, and my effect die is a D10.
Okay, yeah. She's actually being truthful. She's being very honest, from what you can gather. She's pointing out that they are non-lethally armed.
Okay. All right, so they're non-lethal. Okay. I guess that was your call to make.
We
I'm pretty sure
ordered
my dad
them,
wouldn't make them non-lethal.
Union, to put your suspicions to rest. We have ordered them, and we have them modified, custom, just for the purpose here.
Must have been a hell of a funding project.
Well, the United Nations does make sure that this project is very well funded. We have the 5 members of the Security Council all putting forth their funding, and it's ample. So, just that is for the protection of the students. We've never had to use them before, but they also make protesters think twice before storming the gate, so to speak. It's good security.
Okay. All right.
Let's
Let's just go see the kids before.
Yes, please,
I had to deal with another one of these robots.
They're awake and they wanted to ask questions of you, actually. So please come with me. And she starts leading you through the building, into the front door. the uniformed security guard, the uniformed normal-sized security guard, not the robotic one, opens the door for you after holding a hand to an earpiece and escorts you deeper into the building. This is a nice school. There is a mixture of old, almost like a hardwood English vibe to the construction, but there's also very, like, all the windows are very modern. All of the flooring is a modern flooring, but the main structure arches to the hallway are all a hardwood, and the modern flooring
Brought to you by Dogma.
May I continue?
Yes, please continue describing the wood.
It's
What's
mahogany.
it smell like?
It is a rich mahogany. But the flooring matches to give a dark kind of slate flooring. All the doors made of a similar material to the arches, and it like I said, it has that combination of a classic English boarding school, that old kind of construction you find in upstate New York, mixed with modern sensibilities and technology.
Oh, good. So no radiators on every wall.
Yeah, no.
Nice.
Radiators just make noise, folks. It's a fucking thing. All right, sorry. She escorts you down several hallways. The medical facility seems to be on the first floor. She escorts you in, and you can see that there are separate rooms for each of the kids. And she, escorting you in, says, please, we're keeping them isolated for now, just in case it was something that we don't understand yet. We trust you can be discreet and also take care of yourselves. Please, if anything happens, we'll be...
I'm pretty sure you'd know. And I poked to my neck.
We'll be keeping an eye on the situation, so if things do escalate, allow us to handle it. We'll take care. So, I'm going to just be down the hall in an observation room. So please, at your leisure. She steps out.
Thank you, Director Cooper.
You're very welcome. She steps out, scuttles down the hall, leaving you in the sort of lobby area of this medical wing. I call it a medical wing. It's about 8 rooms and a main desk area at the front with a central artery of a hallway. And you are standing in that artery of a hallway. Who would you like to see
Right,
first?
who do you guys want to talk to first?
Let's talk Peregrine. I think she might be a good person to talk to first.
Mm-hmm.
Works for me. Is it labeled with who's in what room?
It's kind of there are windows so you can see in, so it's not like you have to guess as to who's in what room. They are in a 2-and-2 arrangement. On your left, you can see Peregrine and Gauss, and on your right, you can definitely see Pyreside's room, as he has a very different arrangement to his medical necessities, and Primal just beyond. Pyreside's room is a little bit brighter than the rest.
Glass goes over, breathes on the window on Pyreside's room, and writes hi in the frost before going back.
It lasts for like a split second from the ambient heat inside. but your message is clear.
Quick question.
Mm-hmm.
Glass, is your powers like affected by heat in any shape, like way, shape, or form, or you're good?
Oh, you haven't had to pee for her yet. No? No one? Just me?
Threshold.
What? Doesn't like dry kind of atmospheres, right? Always keep a water bottle handy.
I
put your pee
don't
in.
do well when it's very hot and very dry.
Okay. So I guess we'll have to save him for another time.
No, it's fine.
Yeah, I had a lot of
Alright.
coffee.
Worst comes to worst, you'll just have to portal me out of there.
No, I just
Okay.
said I drank like a ton of. Actually, I opened up a few of the beers before I came. We were supposed to be bringing that somewhere, but I'm sure they're
Oh,
fine.
that's right. You said something about a beach party.
Yeah. We kind of found a union card in a Thule Society house, so I'm just saying this is sparking my interest for different reasons.
We'll have to talk about that.
No, you gotta go talk to
But-
some kids.
Kids first.
Kids first, yeah. Smile.
All
Big
right.
smile, kids.
Let's talk to Peregrine first, because speedsters should notice shifts in their bodies. That's my mentality, at least.
Okay. Entering into the room, Peregrine is kind of rolled over and looking at the wall. She's not under the covers. It's a medical style bed, about waist height, that extended height style bed. The back of it is kind of angled upwards for comfort. She sits in it, rolled over to one side. There's a TV that could be turned on. It's not on right now. A few monitors beep every once in a blue moon in the room. Well, and other than that, it's pretty quiet. You notice she kind of had a bit of her shoulders kind of scrunched up a little bit when she heard the door open, but she isn't looking your direction.
As she's opening the door, Glass knocks on it slightly and says, "Hype says hi."
Just kind of looks over her shoulder. Huh?
Blue hair, no pants, little
Yeah.
cocky.
Yeah, come in. And she rolls back into her position. Seemed comfy there.
We close the door behind us once we're all in. And Gauss is in this room as well? Or are they in the next room?
They're in the next room over.
Okay. 2 on this side, 2 on the other side.
Mhm.
Got it. It wasn't your fault.
It's funny. I don't remember any of it. Although she does roll over. She rolls over and she's like, although I can't really not. As you see, there is a very deep bruise around her neck. From where she was picked
see, that happened after you punched our friend here. So hype kind of got you off the ground so you could keep running.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that is right.
Doesn't help the situation much, really. Like I told the doctors, I don't know. And honestly, I just want to be left alone right now.
I promise we won't be long. but since we're probably not going to end up coming back here, because I don't think they're going to want us back. Do you know of anybody that works here or goes to the school that has puppeteering abilities of sorts?
She kind of looks at you, rolling back over because she had kind of tried to leave the room by rolling over away from you. She rolls back over and she's like, no, that's, yeah, no, nobody is like that. It's not as long as I've been here.
That does help narrow things down, even if you don't think it does. But I think you're going to end up being an amazing hero regardless. And I reach over and I grab, is there like a small sink?
Yeah.
I walk over and I grab a paper towel, just wet it in the sink and freeze it in my hands before handing it over. So she has something cold for it?
Reaches over her shoulder, takes it, holds it to the bruise on her chest, and just says, yeah. Thanks.
Marshall kind of leans over to Angel and whispering, hey, from, it's either psionic or like weird shit, right? Is there anything that we could be like looking at these kids for that maybe they're not being tested for? Is there any like...
Well, from what I remember during training, if there is someone using magic to control somebody, you would see some sort of dark lining above them. Like a puppet string, if you will. A dark puppet string. But that is dark magic. Something I'm not too familiar of. I mean, as you see, Angel lights his hands up.
Ooh.
I went the path of light.
Shiny. So you have no way of seeing if somebody does something different?
I can see it, but I can't really say for sure how to cut said strings.
I will step in here for a second. Metaphysically speaking, there's a whole bunch of ways that this could happen. So that's one expression that Angel is aware of. You also, using because you have occult power, you could use your power to possibly look for that yourself. So it's not off the because you have sorcery as a skill, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorcery.
I was going to say, maybe you should check.
Yeah, sorcery allows you as a power is very open-ended. So long as it makes sense narratively that you would have a spell that would kind of work along those lines, you could perform it. So this is GM stepping in as like a here's how the system kind of works kind of moment. I didn't mean to break the vibe of the scene. I just wanted to let you know that there are avenues you could take with your character sheet that you could actually look for it in this moment if you wanted to.
Actually, I don't think, would light sorcery be a thing for something like that?
Just sorcery in general, you could use. Yeah, you're not... all of your magic is light-themed, but that doesn't mean you can't cast spells that have other effects. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
One's your
All right.
specialty, I guess.
Yeah,
Like,
light is kind of like your specialty. It's your signature shit. All of your spells have some kind of element of light to them, the way you use them. But at the end of the day, you are a master of sorcery. I think level 10 is a master level. So you are able to cast spells that have utility outside of just that. You have arcane senses too, right?
Arcane senses? No.
Unless you took senses with arcane or something on it.
No, that I don't think that was me that got that. I didn't
Okay.
get arcane senses.
Then you could spend a hero point
Oh.
to activate a spell that would do something that your powers normally wouldn't.
Okay. Can I do that right now?
Please do.
Or, oh,
Do a cool thing.
Yeah,
Thank you.
go ahead.
you know what? I think I may be able to do something here to see if there is said puppet strings.
Hell, look them over. Yeah. I mean, do you need anything from us?
Well, I would say just try to keep watch if anything absurd happens, if
I'm here
said
for the
strings are discovered.
All right, go for it.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so this is a wits occult.
All right.
Actually, you know what? No, resolve occult,
Okay. So.
and then an appropriate distinction,
Okay. Cult.
and then your sorcery die.
Okay. Okay.
No thanks.
Angel, no thanks.
Huh?
No.
Channel meme.
Channel meme.
Oh. Okay. So
You're officially
the
part of the
distinction
channel,
I'm
you have
using. Oh, sorry. Distinction I'm using for this one is well, since I'm using light source, I would say warrior of light.
Mm-hmm. I think that works.
Okay.
All right, your difficulty is an 11.
11. Okay, so one thing, I rolled a hitch.
Yay! Boop.
14.
All right, but I got a what was the difficulty?
11.
Okay, I got a 14 and a effect die of a D10.
Okay.
Nice.
How is what kind of a spell? How does this spell get activated? This is a spell to reveal things to angels. So not a big, huge, flashy spell, but even like for example, Doctor Strange, even his little spells that he casts to give him like his little hand shields, they have little powers to them. What would the spell look like for Angel casting
Light it
this
up.
revealing cantrip?
So what Angel does is Angel moves his hands in a certain motion
Mm-hmm.
and just kind of pulls his hands out as if there was like an orbit that's expanding from the center of his hands, and he just and Angel just kind of like disperses it around, and it explodes into like little motes, searching for the said puppet strings.
Okay. The motes flicker out. The view within Angel's hands following the motes as they search through the medical ward. They come to rest on each of the students. You don't find strings. You don't find anything possessing them right now. You find the equivalent of psychic dead tissue. Almost as like a part of them had been gnawed at, pulled away. And at that moment, The wall on the end of the medical unit explodes inward, concrete flying past you, taking out the desk and slamming into the wall. As one of the large union reps kneels down. Target identified. Neutralizing.
I throw up a wall.
And that's where we're going to take our break.
I had a feeling that was coming.
Oh my goodness.
Let us return to our scene where things were normal and fine. And, we're rolling initiative.
Oh. Oh. This is fun.
Yes.
Am I able to? Am I able to?
If you're not protecting somebody else, it will default to the initiative of it. Because if the attack
Oh, putting
was,
up the wall. Okay.
yeah, if you were protecting somebody and you were giving them a die to protect themselves, absolutely. But if it like an ambush kind of situation, but because this was an environmental thing, you were trying to seal the wall back off, that's more of an action that you're taking.
Okay.
So we will rock and roll with that.
Are we all rolling or just glass?
Everybody. Oh, it hit the whole room.
Oh.
As
So what are we
the
rolling for?
as the union rep outside.
So what's the dice pool?
The dice pool for this is a very simple pool. It's the only pool like it the way I run it. You take your wits die, your composure die, and any super speed power like reflexes or super speed or like time manipulation, anything like that might give you an edge on initiative.
I
You
got that.
add that die as well, and then you roll those and you add the two highest.
No distinction, right?
Yeah, this is the one roll that has no distinction.
Oh, no distinction. So wits. Sorry, you said wits and what else?
Composure.
Composure.
So it's two attributes together. This is the only
Oh.
roll like it in this game.
Okay.
I'm never gonna roll this well again.
Okay.
Who wants to be initiative czar?
Oh, what are we at the beat?
You're not beating anything. You're just getting a number.
Oh.
2 dice.
I will be initiative czar.
All right. Then I will start counting back in 2 seconds. I'm just gonna. And this as well. Oh wait, no, I'm doing it in news. So, boom. Okay, cool. Seriously? No, that's not how that's happening.
Is that the sound of Doom Die being rolled?
No. I just.
He's
Fuck
saving
it.
him for the fight.
All right. 15 to 20. Or anybody above 20, I should say first. Oh, not you didn't go over 20? Okay. So 15 to 20 then would be threshold and glass?
Yeah.
What did
What'd
you
you get?
guys get?
I got 19.
Oh, damn.
Ooh,
Okay,
yeah.
you're at the top.
Yeah.
What threshold get?
15.
A 16 is going to activate in there. Put Union Rep Team 1.
Team?
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Oh, it's multiple targets again.
Hey, I'm here, which means I don't have to be quiet.
I had a 14. I don't know if that matters.
Oh, we'll get to that. So then Threshold at a 15.
Mhm.
Then Cyperion at a 14. What did Angel get?
I got 11.
Okay, so on a 12, Union Rep Team 2 goes. And that is the ladder. All right. So, top of the order. Glass gets to go first anyway.
You guys okay with me taking the first initiative slot?
Go for it.
Sure.
Go for it.
Glass reaches her hands down and drags them up like you guys have seen her do once before. No, you didn't see her do this once before. You guys were on the 4th floor.
Oh yeah.
And a wall starts coming up where the wall should be, but this time it's made out of ice in front of the Union rep. As she turns, the mask a little frostier than usual. Check on the other kids.
All right.
And yeah, I'm gonna
I would like to see...
use my construct ability.
All right. It's not specifically difficult to do, so it's going to be a standard difficulty test, as I almost practiced. But we are going to have to find out if what die you're using, what is the sturdiness of this wall. So your difficulty is a 6.
Okay.
Roll your wits, awareness. Oh no,
Wits,
wait.
not composure or
It's
resolve.
composure or it's composure, awareness, distinction, and your power.
Distinction. Power.
Now you're making a setting element, so this is not an afflict.
Okay. What was my difficulty?
6.
Okay. I made it with a 12, with a D10, stepped up to a D12 effect die for the new wall.
So to break through the
Amazing.
wall, a D12 worth of damage needs to be done.
Nice.
I mean, it can be weakened so that D12 can be stepped back as damage is done to it. But for now,
I
that's
feel
a
like that
D12.
happened last time.
No, that was, but they walked around it and then hit me with the RPG.
Rude.
Oh.
Yeah.
She had specifically set it up to protect others. So the civilians were safe, but she was a target. So yeah, next activation.
I could attack it from...
No, it's one of them.
Shit, that's right.
You hear thudding on the outside before a high-pitched whine of a battery charging up.
Sorry, that was my air conditioning.
That was really good timing, though.
That immersion, that's
If
what
for
you
some
came
reason-
for.
If for some reason turned off and turned back on.
As a pair of pulsar beams are gonna lance into this this shield here. Let me just build a die pool.
Sorry, beams.
Totally non-lethal.
Wait, so is this the robot or like the SWAT team?
Oh no, you heard the thudding of the robot getting distance.
Okay, because I was confused at first. I heard multiple, and I was like, what?
Yeah, I'll get there. Don't rush me.
Oh.
Oh boy.
Oh dear.
Don't rush me here. Don't get ahead of me. Glass is actually I need you to set my difficulty. So it's the same roll as before. But this time you're just picking your best numbers.
Okay. Sorry, I'm eating mochi. 17.
Ooh. Okay. So I'm using let's see. That's a 10 for strength. Or 10 for, I should say, for targeting. 10 for pulsar beams. D8 for ranged combat. And a D8 distinction for duty bound.
I hate these
Robots have distinctions?
Oh,
They probably have feelings too. Shit.
What was the total you had me hit? I needed to hit?
17.
I hit that with a D8, so it's not going to break through the wall, but it is going to step back the wall's D12 down to a D10. So this gives you time.
Gotcha.
All right, next. As you hear a second set of batteries whine, I'm going to use the same number you rolled this turn for it. As another one charges up to blast. This one doesn't succeed. So another energy beam round cracks off the exterior. You can see the red light from within pouring through the ice as it begins to crack. Next activation.
Did it step it down further?
Nope.
Or did it not make the
It
17?
did not succeed.
Okay.
It just shot at it and it held.
Okie dokie. It is it's our goes for the next 2 rounds.
All right.
Sweet.
Who's going to
Let's kick
activate?
these things asses.
what happened? And is there like
They're
an order,
behind
or
a
can
wall.
anyone go?
Yeah.
Huh?
They're behind the wall still.
Oh,
But that's not a problem for me.
true. And I think you're next.
Well, it could
whoever-
be anybody, actually.
Anybody
so if you
can
guys have a
activate.
whole
You
idea.
have 2 activations.
Yeah.
Glass went this turn already, so it is one of you.
Oh, can I go?
Go for it. If you've got an idea,
Sure.
roll.
All right. Oh, question. Am I allowed to enforce Glass's wall of ice with a wall of light?
That would be actually cool now that I think about it.
You'd make another layer, essentially, but you would not be able to, like, repair it, since your power is based on light, hers is based on ice. It's not like you can kind of reinforce each other, but you could make another barrier layer if you wanted to create another thing that has to
Get
get
the
broken
kids
through.
out.
Okay. Well,
I guess I gotta say some kids. I
Fucking
guess.
kids! Look, I'm rubbing
All right.
off on you already. It's great.
See, Glass?
'Cause I'm about to say I have like no
helping.
defensive abilities.
I mean, best I could probably do for kids. I mean, I don't have super speed or anything like that to, like, you know,
You can fly.
kind of like a.
You can also
can
just
fly.
go in
Oh, I
and
do
pick
fly.
them up
Okay.
and move them. You
make
don't
light
have to
constructs
use your powers every turn in combat, but also your simple movement abilities can be used to try and get them out of safety. I'll let you know if it requires a specific role.
Okay.
So if you want to help get the kids out, how would Angel get somebody out of a hospital bed and get them to safety, away from wall that is currently getting attacked?
Actually. So. That's a good question.
Angel, you have light construct powers, right?
Yes, I do, actually.
So why don't you just make light constructs to attach to the hospital beds and bring the kids outside?
How about this?
I can do that.
Think about it. We'll have somebody else activate, and then we'll come back to you.
Okay.
Think about it, though.
Mhm.
So, Threshold, Cyperion, which one, who wants to try and take this up? I know Threshold had an idea.
Oh, I could still attack it without having to damage the wall, but if you think you could find an off button that's more complicated than just destroy it, it's also an option.
Well, I had an idea, but I don't think my character technically can do this. I would like to try to hack into the robots.
You would have to make physical contact with them. You know, I'll
thought
even
so.
allow you, since you understand their makeup and you rolled really well for that. You know that they are on, when it comes to their prime circuitry, and their main systems, they are closed circuit.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So would this again be another intelligence technology?
You can't get to it right now. I have a wall up.
Unless you ask
Okay,
me real
so
nice.
threshold, you're gonna have to go because literally there's nothing I can do unless I can go fight the thing.
Communicate to me at some point next round. You need to go
Yeah.
somewhere. Let me know.
I'll go last.
Oh, whoa, great! And screams over her shoulder. Did anyone get eyes on what its actual target was? And as she's screaming that out, realizing her comms are still connected to Chernabog and Tomka. Oh, shit! Gonna open a portal. Is there still ceiling above him? Because they hit through the wall, but...
Oh, he didn't come through the wall. He literally blew up the wall and then looked down. He's outside.
Oh, okay. So there's still ground. Cool. Just could be a small set of tick, as she drops a grenade into her portal.
Oh, you're gonna drop a grenade on the other side? Okay.
That's pretty cool.
She just kind of like nudges it into the portal with her boot.
So a portal opens up in front of Threshold. She pulls off a grenade off her belt, lobs it into the hole, and then there's just a of light on the opposite side of the Glass's wall. Let's see how effective that was. All right, so let me set your difficulty for your attack. That's gonna be, we'll say, Dex, ranged combat, then
That's
distinction and portal
okay.
for your roll. I need to go ahead and
And then it's also add 1d6 per target after the primary target.
you only saw one target, so
Okay. I do not know how.
if
that
you were
work out
doing
quick
area
then.
attack, you spend a point to activate that as
Oh,
well.
that was not listed on my sheet. Okay. Ignore it.
It's I realize I might have to go through everybody's sheets to readdress some Cortex Prime things that I was using, because I'm using both all the stuff I know from the Marvel superhero, the Marvel heroic roleplay, as well as the Cortex Prime stuff, and I'm trying to merge the two systems. So it's making some stuff.
What do I gotta beat?
All right, let me see here. So I got see, resistance is a 10. Where is that? Durability is a 10. Survival is an 8. Distinction, soldier. Let's see what your difficulty is. It is a... That's a lot of 5s. Wow. Okay. That's weird.
5
You're slightly
It is-
off brand here.
It is a 12.
12.
Is your difficulty.
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
Yeah, I'm like,
Get
ooh,
him,
do I
Josh.
do I want to push the pool? Question. If we would be willing to spend a plot point, I could then add an extra trait from a similar trait group.
A hero point, but yes.
Son of a bitch. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Hero. How many do we have?
6.
You're currently at 6.
I'd be okay with it.
See how murdery we need to get with our murder?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm always for extra destruction, but I can't do that because I'm a hero. So I'll live vicariously through you.
Listen. Just vocalize and we can get some sweet setups.
Threshold is still technically a hero, just like Logan is still technically
Fuck
a
off,
hero.
I'm on posters. I'm totally a hero. There's things that says Heroes of the Horizon with like,
Branding.
yeah, branding on me.
Yeah. There are some posters where Threshold and Glass are next to
back.
each other, like a sitcom. Yeah.
So 13.
13.
Okay, and I'll use a D10 distinction. A D10 effect die.
Wait, you rolled a 13?
No, oh my god. Why are words not working? Please hold.
You had to-
Calibrating.
You had to beat a 13.
Okay, so I beat 13, but it's a D10 effect die.
Okay.
Blech. Blah, 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 blah. Dang.
Let me just double check something quick.
Posture check, son of a bitch.
Yeah, I know. That's why I just sat up in my chair.
I'm not gonna be tall. I'm shrimping.
Okay.
Okay.
Who needs their spines to be healthy?
So, you just see on the opposite side a pop and an explosion. Shatter. You don't see it affect Glass's wall, but you definitely see a grenade go off on the opposite side. Next activation. So that's doing a 10 to pain. Just to give you an idea, D10 is on the pain track over there. No, yeah, just, yeah, I'll keep that. I'll let that happen.
You're never magnanimous without a reason.
Next activation.
All right, this is all you, Manny. Angel.
Huh?
The angel.
Oh.
You're enough next,
Okay.
so you had a
All
plan.
right. Yeah, I got something. All right, so I can explain what I'm gonna do right now, or do I roll for it first?
Explain.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. So what Angel's gonna do is, Angel's going to basically encapsulate every single student in like a box of light, looking like a train car. And once Angel does that, he moves everyone out in said boxes into the hallway, and all those boxes connect into just one long bullet train looking construct.
I forgot you had area
Getting
effect
real
as well.
Hal
Yeah.
Jordan on this, and I'm liking it.
Yeah, I'm about to say that's like really Green Lantern.
I like it. I like it. Let's all right.
I was just thinking, get them in bubbles and move them, but sure, let's go with the Tokyo Bullet Train. That sounds way cooler.
All right, go ahead and set up your die pool, which is going to be Composure Occult,
Okay. Composure.
Distinction, and
Okay,
your
Composure.
Sorcery
Occult.
power. And it's
This
your difficulty is an 8.
distinction will be the Boy Scout.
Ah, yeah, yep.
My
I'm good boy.
okay. Wait, which one was? Oh, light sorcery. Okay.
Yep.
Let me grab. Where's that D10
No light rail.
at? Do I use like my the complex invocation structure as well?
That's if you're making a construct. What does that distinction read again? Not that. What does that special effect read as again?
Add a D6 to step up effect die by 1 when using light sorcery. Oh, that's light sorcery to
So-
create assets.
To create an asset. Okay, so you're not creating an asset right now? Like, that would be if you were creating a wall, or you were creating a ramp, or a spring, or body armor, or something like that for somebody out of light. Right now, you're just getting people out of the fucking dodge. So that's more of just moving them. You're manipulating the scene rather than creating an asset.
I'm going to remember that.
So just go ahead. Your difficulty's an 8.
Oh, okay. So I'll just these. Ooh. I got a 19.
Whoa.
With an effect die of a D8.
So that's going to be a D12
Nice.
effect die because it steps up twice. Because if you got a 19, that means you beat the 8 by 11. So that's two 5s. So you step up your effect die twice. So D8 becomes a D10, which then becomes D12. Which means really fucking good.
That's really good.
Fucking nailed that.
Angel steps.
Way to go.
Angel takes a big leaping step forward, throws both hands down to the ground. His cape billows out behind him, taking on that kind of angel wing light apparatus. As he pulls his hands up, these light constructs form up around, creating these little pillboxes surrounding each of the kids that are currently in this ICU. He then pulls his hands together. They all fly through the windows, glass shattering.
Oh no.
Choo-choo, motherfucker.
As they all pull together in a line and rocket out of the medical ward and down the hall to safety. You
That was
have...
fucking cool.
So one of the fun things about this game is that I can set scene distinctions. So like I can set up problems that are distinctions you have to deal with in the scene. Those kids were a D10 scene distinction that you rolled a D12 for, so you took care of them all in one shot.
I see why this is the loud team.
All right.
Man just created a freaking New York City subway system with his powers. Just got him out of there.
Oh my god.
Next activation is Team 2, I believe.
Sorry, I was still muted. Yes.
Okay. You can't really make out exactly what it is, but you hear more shuffling of large feet outside as a completely different sound. Not the high energy whine you heard before, but more of a tick, tick, foosh kind of a sound. As the sound of what sounds like a jet engine taking off starts to point towards the wall.
I'm sure it'll be
Let's
fine.
see here. Torch package. There we go.
No.
At this point, Glass is almost like touching it, just keep trying to corrode the ice, like, no, fuck,
Okay,
fuck.
so-
Oh, good, the kids are out. Okay,
Some
cool.
causes are lost.
So completely non-lethal flamethrowers are going to be used right now.
Non-lethal.
Not.
That's not a thing.
Power.
Is it just really warm? Is it a hair dryer?
No. It's for
a
starting
toaster.
campfires for the kids. And then
And me without
flamethrowers.
One of the kids- Conry,
Yeah.
one of the kids is a campfire.
Well, there you go. So
You
it's
really
not
have a
lethal to
freaking
fire.
pocket sun
It's
in
a
this classroom.
fireside.
Okay.
I
There you
couldn't
go.
that
more.
way already.
It's a medicinal flamethrower for fireside, so it's even better. Okay, he's trying to help.
You're helping.
I love
Oh
him.
my god.
I wanted to talk to him more. I should have gone there first if I knew we were going to get attacked.
I
as
can buy the
as
almost
this
8 foot
is,
tall.
I'm gonna need you to re-roll your wall here.
Oh,
I want you to roll your defense because you've thrown up this ice wall. You can kind of help brace it. What an unhappy noise.
Oh.
Mm.
Oh, I love it.
15.
15. Okay.
I rolled a lot of 2s.
I'm going
close
to
to danger.
offer you an opportunity here. Would you like to turn on one of your limits? You would earn
Yes.
hero points this way.
Yes.
Okay. Which one would you like to turn on?
Well, one turns off my entire power set.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna go with the exhausted limitation.
Okay. What does that one
And-
specifically say?
I need to read it. Give me a second.
Please hold.
Shut down any power set specific power to gain a power point. Activate an opportunity to restore the power.
Okay, so you could just turn off the wall, and you don't have access to that specific part of your.
That's a special effect.
Yeah.
That's the entire elemental mastery part.
You only have no. In your cryokinesis, you have multiple powers.
Mm-hmm.
So you could turn.
That's elemental mastery that I used.
So you could turn off elemental mastery and then turn it back on. You would gain a hero point in the process.
Okay.
But it makes sense because of the fire. This is how you earn hero points in this game. This is like you're supposed to kind of lean into the of the scene. You don't have to. That's why I'm offering it and not saying this just happens.
Nope, I'm okay with that.
Okay, so you get hero points. And instead of rolling for it, I'm going to essentially just have the scene happen as the wall is melted away in a flush of heat.
Bless you.
Adorable.
Thank you. Fuck off. Thank you. Fuck. Shit.
You're welcome. Fuck off.
As there's
Carry
a moment...
adds more sweat.
Glass has a moment of like losing your breath. But a cryokinetic immediately going right into an extremely hot, dry environment is like having the wind knocked out of you. So that's kind of the experience that that Glass just had, as the wall is broken and a wash of water and vapor just splash back at the heroes. The fourth one will activate now. And I'm gonna say Angel and Cyperion.
Oh,
Yes, the two of you. So you see 3 pairs of legs and lower torsos of these armors on the other side of where the wall was, as the steam is clearing. Just before, just in that moment, 2 more feet, another pair of legs walks into frame, ducks down, and those forearms, those large boxes, you notice that this one, they're wide, as they fire out a pair of discs that open. How would Cyperion and Angel wish to deal with a pair of projectile... Well, they're just projectiles right now. You don't know exactly what they are.
Well, I have super reflexes, so I'm
Are you
dodging.
dodging the hell out of this?
Yeah.
okay. Oh wait, is he still going, or should I say what I'm going to do right now?
Both of you need
No,
to let
I'm-
me know how you're going
Oh.
to dodge it. So I'll
You
let you
next.
know what you'll generate when you do. Is Angel going to dodge it, or is Angel going to try and deflect it? Like, what's Angel's plan?
I'm definitely going to try to deflect it because I'm not that fast. So Angel will put up a wall of light to try to defend himself and whoever is within his vicinity from said projectiles.
Well, these two look to be
So-
about 4 feet wide as they're flying at you, and one is going at each. So Cyperion needs...
So, quick question. Can I
Yeah.
dodge and destroy it?
No.
Or do I have to pick one another? Okay.
You'd have to
fine,
pick
I'll
one.
dodge it then.
So it's Dex. This is setting up my resistance roll to try and affect you. So, rocket punch. Anyway,
I'm
I
glad
need-
you said it because I was almost going to say it. I was like this close.
I need a dexterity, athletics, distinction, and reflexes roll from Cyperion. And from Angel, I need a composure. Hey! Just a quick shout out. Hey, Klug! A whole bunch of gift subs right there.
Holy
That's nothing.
crap. I just
oh
saw
wow!
it.
All right.
So I make sure everybody can hear me. I see you. We appreciate you. I gotta mute the sounds for a few moments while we. You'll see them all though. So Angel, I need a composure. This is staying calm to be able to throw up a shield that quickly. So composure and let's say your occult, because you're casting a spell. Distinction.
Okay.
And finally, it would be light sorcery still. Your defensive spell
Yes.
like that, yeah.
Okay. All right. Let me roll this here. Is there a difficulty we're beating?
You're setting the difficulty for me.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm rolling an area attack.
Oh.
So what that means is you need to pick your 2 highest dice regardless of what the effect die would be, because there is no effect die.
Yeah.
Okay. 2 highest. All right. All right.
All right. What'd you get?
Oh, I got a 19.
Okay. And Cyprian?
I got a 16.
Okay, we're gonna see how this goes. So I add a d6 for every extra target I'm attacking, so that's a d6 here. I'm gonna go ahead and step this d6 up though, once, twice, 3 times a d12. There we go. And now I'm gonna roll this here handful of dice.
Great. Fistful of dice. Yeah. For the punch.
Put me in, coach.
Yes. So I rolled a 20.
Oh.
Fucking kidding me.
10 came up a 10, and a d12 came up a 10.
Oh.
Question?
Oh, man.
Yeah?
If I have a reactive power, at what point in the turn can I use that to help other people?
You would have to react it before I roll the dice.
Okay. Sorry,
'Cause
you're all fucked.
You're adding to their defense. Think about it this way. Reactive power, you're basically creating an instant asset for them.
Okay.
So that means you spend a hero point, and then you give them
Okay.
an extra die.
All right, friends, you're gonna eat it. Never mind. Can't. My heart was there for you, but.
But I don't have. Oh, okay. So let's see here. High or low? Let's see. Angel, high or low?
What do you mean?
Pick high or low.
Oh, I guess high.
I rolled over halfway, so you're gonna get a D10 complication.
Oof.
And
So you step your D8 back up to a D10.
no,
Okay.
this isn't
Oh.
stress. This is a
Oh.
complication. Cyprion's getting a D8 out of this because each effect die, I get to put an effect die on each of you.
Oof.
As the 2 discs open and clamp down around their waists,
Oh.
and it immediately opens its hands. The 4-fingered hands rotate, and you can hear the hum of a high-powered magnet pulling those discs back to the hands.
Oh.
Quick question.
Yeah.
I have an ability against magnetism.
The magnetism is what's just pulling you away. It's not a magnetic
Oh.
power attacking you.
Hey, but good news
Okay.
is you wanted to be in physical contact with them.
Yeah, true. I didn't get the chance to go yet.
So basically, they've grabbed you. He grabbed you from range, but they did it with a flashy ranged attack in the process. So the 2 of them actually slam into the palms, and the hands wrap around. So one of
boy.
these Union reps has both Angel and Cyprion in its grasp at once. Next activation is Cyprion, though.
Okay. Well, seeing how these are my dad's robots, I'm going to try to hack into them since they're touching me. And since the alien weapon, since technology, especially cybernetics, is my specialty, and I have adaptive weaponry, I'm going to try to like bust out and take control of this robot.
Okay, I want you to describe to me how this is being done. Because saying that it's being done is one thing. How is the power? How is this happening? Is it like wires coming out of them? Is the nanomachines crawling up the arm? Like, how is this manifesting?
Well, the way it's happening is that Hyperion can interface with technology.
Mm-hmm.
And any form of physical contact, whether he's touching it or it's touching him, the alien weapon inside me will react to it and instantly try to push it away from me, especially if it's causing me pain.
Okay, that's causes. I'm like, I want a description. What does it look like to everybody else as this is happening?
So I'm basically gonna have like the alien weapon inside of me is going to force its way into the robot.
Okay, so it's the
Taking
nano.
over from
It's
the
like
inside and
that like bleeding edge tech flowing over the machinery.
yeah,
And then flowing into the
yeah.
armor in front of you. All right, cool. We're gonna roll. So let me set up your
I'm
little.
gonna keep these 4 dice. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna end up rolling them again.
All right, I rolled a 18, but an
You can
opportunity.
use a doom pull.
I rolled a 1.
Oh,
Do you want to reactivate your power?
yes.
I would love to.
I would
Yeah.
enjoy that.
Yeah. We're gonna take advantage of that.
So,
All right.
in order to use an opportunity, I have to use the hero point I generated doing so.
No, not necessarily.
I thought in order to activate a...
What happened?
We have
We
Demos
lost
Hyperion.
Angel.
The alien weaponry!
No!
The alien weaponry took over Manny.
Oh my god.
Oh no, we dropped the call.
Assimilated! The replicators are attacking!
I'm gonna recall.
Oh my god, there's 2 of me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's weird.
This has happened before. Double.
There can only be 1.
Quick fight!
Yeah, right?
Now, if they're like mirror images of one another, that'd been really cool.
If only.
We will get Manny back into the call as soon as possible. But you fucking nerd. You fucking nerd.
Happy I'm here tonight.
I mean, I do have one right here I could put on.
Oh no!
Mine are upstairs. I have 3.
You're all the worst.
Oh my god, I really
The
wish
worst.
I wish I could.
Both of you are terrible. All 3 of you are terrible.
Yeah.
Believe it.
Shadow
Oh.
clone jutsu.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah. Please see my prior comment. Is it too soon to say I want to go back to jail?
All right, let me double check something.
We decided to do we jumped into the anime hero game now.
Listen,
Okay.
all our games are kind of anime.
Yes,
at
you
this
do
point.
have to. You do have to spend that plot point to do it. I have to see about. I might manipulate. I might change that. I'll think about it. But for now, we will follow the rules that I wrote. And
Manny's whole computer froze.
oh,
Oh.
Oh. You hacked the wrong machine.
all right. Let me. I'm gonna go ahead and turn one of these down here. You're too powerful. I can't let you go on this way.
It's always something with me.
I have to stop it. I can't allow
Nerf him!
this.
Nerf him!
There you go. Fixed. You're you used to be. All right.
Oh, God!
God.
So to keep it
All right,
rolling.
he's restarting the computer.
Okay. Give me the heads up when he is ready to ready to call back in, and then I will add him to the call.
Okay, so before that happened, we were about
I
to
would
build
like
the
to
dice.
activate the opportunity.
Yes, activate the opportunity.
So you said I don't need to spend a hero point for that?
For the purposes of regaining your power, I think it would be silly to turn off the power and then literally have to use the point you just got from turning off your power to turn it back on. It feels
I get that.
pointless in a way. So I'd rather have it be
Yeah.
an effect that makes sense. So I'm going to rule that when reactivating a power that way, it's not activating the opportunity. If I roll an opportunity, you reactivate your power. That's the way it works.
Okay.
Because I would like it to be mechanically, if like it actually have an effect. Otherwise, it just kind of becomes. Damn it! I don't want to say pointless now. Because damn it,
I also laughed at
it's
it.
not a
I'm
pun.
sorry.
Damn it! It's at 18 to try and hack the robot. You.
All right, I got to
Doppelganger.
build my dice pool. Let's see if my powers are.
Wits technology. No, composure technology.
Oh.
Yeah, you gotta. This is more of a keeping calm kind of a thing. If you panic, it would be worse.
Composure. Technology is a D10. Okay, so it wasn't the same dice.
You also
what was
have
that?
super
There it
brains.
is. Yeah, I have. I actually had another die in this too.
Well, you'd have to, in order to use 2 powers, you'd have to use a hero point.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, it's not actually using the power. It's my distinction and actually going to use a power this time, and my intelligence.
You can't use
Your super intelligence is a power.
Yeah.
Is it under my intelligence? It's under advanced
Yes.
intellect here.
Yeah, it
Oh, I
is.
thought it was
It is
another
a power.
bracket. All right, so
The way that is that you can use your like if you have an intelligence roll, it's literally intelligence, your skill, and then like you can use super intelligence again. It doubles it up. But this one is composure, technology, distinction, and
then a power.
I
All
see.
right, so I need another D8. I gotta beat 18.
Yeah.
Yes. Let's see if this works. I am resummoning our wizard.
Okay, so I got a 17.
The camera settings reset.
Would you be able to beat an 18 if you used a hero point to use another die to add to that?
Yeah.
I'd say go for it then.
You got, yeah. I say use a hero point to give yourself some more.
All right, so that's 17. So I'm gonna add. I'll use a hero point to
Alright.
add my 3 to it. So it'll be a 20, and then I'll have an effect die of a D8.
A D8. Alright, give me 1 second. Okay. So, that's not enough to fully take over the machine. But what you will do is cause stress. As you have caused it what I will call anguish, as you are fucking up its circuitry. That was weird. There we go.
Oh,
Anguish.
much better, Manny.
D10. A D8, you said, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. You start to see sparks coming off of this thing as, let's see, you had a D8 on you, so you're able to cause it to release its grip on you as the clamp that had circled around your chest breaks off. And you've dropped to the floor. I'm just going to reintegrate our good sorcerer back into... And he's back.
Welcome back.
Hey, you were back on the call. Are you muted?
Yeah.
We can't hear you. Do you have your mic muted?
I cannot hear. We
You're
cannot
still
hear you
muted.
at
Yep.
all. Okay, sort out your microphone issues. We have gotten to the end of the roster, so back up to the top. I believe it is your activation.
It is. There's one of us that can activate. I plan on hitting all of them.
All of them.
If you guys are okay with that.
I was gonna do the same thing, so go ahead.
Do a murder. I'd love to see.
All right.
Yeah, you're back. I can hear
Yay!
Okay. Awesome.
you. All right. So
You
who's
missed my
going
shadow
first?
clone jutsu.
Oh man.
We watch dub here. We don't watch dub here, so it's Kagebushin no Jutsu. So just putting that out there.
Yeah.
Sorry, I said believe it before. I mean Datebayo.
Thank you.
Thank you. Fix your sin.
All right. Who's activating first? Is Hyperion going immediately? Or is Glass going to go?
Glass said she wanted to go
Yeah.
first.
All right.
I'm gonna use a hero point if you guys are okay with that.
Sure.
Wow me.
To activate area attack. As Glass reaches out, chest heaving with breathing, and if you're actually looking at the vitals, you're noticing the heart rate is starting to look kind of normal from how much she's forcing herself right now. As the steam and the water that blew back starts rematerializing mid-air into spikes that shoot forward out the hole through the wall and attack every one of the robots that are in view.
I love when you get angry.
Nice. Okay. All right. I'm going to roll for defense here. They're going to weather this. No pun intended. All right. Maybe a little bit intended. Maybe a little bit
Okay,
intended.
we're getting the puns.
Bring
Ice
it.
Storm. All right. Now we're really getting Marvel here. All right. Well, goddamn. 2 opportunities. And your difficulty is it's a 14 is your difficulty, but I rolled 2 opportunities.
Do
Had
we
my-
want to use a hero point to reduce the complication on Angel?
Yeah, because I got an idea that might be able to destroy other robots.
Well, that's a great end goal. I'm down for stepping down a complication on a teammate, though.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
Angel's
yeah.
still trapped technically. Wait,
As
is
long
Angel
as
still
it'll
trapped?
get me out of this
Yeah.
thing.
You can step down a stress. Actually, no, you can step down
Oh.
just normal complications. So you can make the grip on him be reduced from a D10 to a D8, or you could reduce one of his stresses. Which would you
Let's
like?
reduce the complication to make it easier to get out of the grip.
All right. So you're trying to beat a
14.
14. So there are 3 extra targets beyond the first. So build your die pool, and then you're going to add 3d6.
Mm-hmm.
I was about to ask you how many was in total, 'cause I don't think we specified that.
There's 4.
There's 4, okay. Thought there was 5, but I think Threshold
Nope.
took out 1.
I like when it's
Composure.
Yes. Composure, awareness. Actually, this would be ranged combat. I'm sorry. This would be ranged combat.
Oh, even better. My range combat is a D10 versus D8 for
Aha.
awareness.
Oh, that would be the preferred thing you would use then, wouldn't it?
It is. Notice how I haven't done it yet, though. And fuck, I need more. Distinction. I'm going to use cool as a cucumber.
All right.
Don't judge me.
judging.
I see you judging
Right
me.
now, I'm doing it.
Oh, hold on. I need.
Hey, Pyrecide had the distinction of hothead.
I'm also judging him.
Oh, jeez.
Mm-hmm.
Gauss should have had magnetic personality, but no.
No, I can't. I can't take
You
the
gotta be
stress.
fired if that was it.
What you got?
I got a 20 with a D10 effect die and no hitches.
Wow.
Holy crap!
Okay.
With all of those D6s, the lowest is a 2.
Oh my god.
Nice.
That is awesome.
Freaking Arctic attack them.
So
I literally rolled 2 10s. And I went to go re-roll them and then remembered it's not chronicled.
She just go dance tomorrow on their asses.
okay, so the difficulty was a 14. So that beat by 6. So you step up 1 of your effect dice, 1 step.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're selecting 4 effect dice to apply to 1 through 4. Number 4 is the one that is currently holding on to Angel. 3 has a what I would call a modified equipment package that lets it light campfires for kids, camping events.
Non-lethal flamethrowers.
Those non-lethal flamethrowers. Recreational flamethrowers. And then 1 and 2 are built like the ones that you met outside. So pick those. I will be right back. I gotta rush to the bathroom. I'm sorry.
Okay. Okay, I can't use my D10, so do you think I should step up the D12 for the one currently holding them, or the campfire one?
Campfire one, you can leave. I think we gotta get Angel out of there.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah.
This is very uncomfortable.
Just imagine him being like, "Can you get him off me, please?"
Yeah. Just like a really
You
disgruntled
destroyed my
cat.
wall.
I'm like this. I'm like a log right now.
So, I had a quick question. Maybe you guys can answer. Y'all can we double a limit by chance, or like use a limit with a power skill?
A limit? Limit usually is.
To give yourself a PowerPoint.
Yeah.
Okay, so I can't mix 2 different powers together, right?
If you use a point, you can add like a die from a different power to your pool, and technically you would let
You
you
can't-
use 2 powers then.
Okay, never mind then. Okay, 'cause I was gonna say if I could use both these skills together, I could have killed them all, but I don't think that's how it works.
No, you normally pick one special effect.
Okay, all right.
Sadly.
It'd be really cool if I could mix both of them together.
So
Yeah,
what-
so
what did I-
before
Oh.
no, you missed us nerding out about Naruto. That's pretty much
Oh.
it.
Yeah, because for
And
some
then
reason when
Cyperion
your
hacked
computer
one of the robots.
when your computer went down, it doubled my screen. So it was 2 of me on the where your graphic is. It was me.
You hacked the wrong computer.
Yeah.
So literally it was 2 of me, and I was just like this. And I was like 2 seconds away from putting this on.
Oh my gosh.
I love that it's just within grasp. Like,
That'd have been
Ask me.
so cool. You can use powers from 2 powers then.
Yes,
I mean, that's
powers,
what I
but
was
not special
thinking.
effects.
Yeah, because both of them are under my powers. One is area
What do you
attack,
mean?
and one is a unique ability I have called Unleashed. So I was kind of wondering if I can do them both at the same time.
oh,
don't
unleash the
think
special
I can.
effect.
Yeah. So I was trying to see like if I can use Unleashed, but then also use area attack at the same time. But I don't think
That
I
would
can.
be a question for Conry when they're back.
Yeah.
Because I'm not sure. I don't think there is a limit to how many hero points you
It
can
probably-
use at a turn.
Yeah, I was gonna say it probably cost me 2 hero points, but if it works, not only would it be really freaking cool, if my roll is good, I could take
Unleashed
out all 4 of them.
also could backfire. yes, you might
Yeah.
be able to do it, but the backfire element of Unleashed is it could possibly fuck your ass up.
Yeah.
That is a reality. Weigh them as you choose.
well, Glass is using AoE as well, so if we all can do like AoE and damage all these things at once, that'd be great.
I originally took AoE so I could add my durability to multiple people.
Aw,
Gotcha.
Okay, I apologize
What
for
a
that.
good team
I am
captain.
back.
Okay, so Conry, I was asking
I'm-
a quick question.
Well, let me resolve Glass's action first because we're in the middle of
Okay.
doing that, and then immediately
Alright.
I'll answer your question. What were your
Cool.
effect dice?
I'm going to do a D12 on the robot currently holding Angel. I'm going to do a D8 on the one with the flamethrower, and 2 D6s on the others.
And
As the wall that originally shattered just recoalesces and shoots back at them in the opposite direction.
yeah. That's just finishing recording the last of it.
Mm-hmm.
What? What?
What?
What?
What?
What?
What?
What?
What?
Who are you doing that?
What?
What?
Sorry, I'm arguing with Word.
We're just children. It's fine.
I hope it's clippy.
Oh my god. Fuck Clippy.
No, that motherfucker. I buried him under the prison.
No, it's not. It's not. It's not Clippy. It's Bonzi Buddy.
AK sent him to the Shadow Realm. Most
All
logical
right.
answer that always solves all problems.
Got it. Properly recorded. Good to go. The ice shards slam and cut into the armor of these warbots. These Union reps. Cutting into the armor itself, jabbing in ice shards, making them look like frosted porcupines.
Wow.
Luckily, not hitting Angel and Cyperion in the process, even cutting into the band currently holding Angel in place and loosening its grip, giving Angel a bit more of an opportunity to break free if necessary. Or when the time comes, I should say. That would be a better way to put it. Next. Activation.
It is them. Team 1.
Team 1. Excellent. All right. I'm going to have... Team 2 is going to activate on this turn. As they both stand up straight, the one holding Angel, lifting him up out of sight. Cyperion, the only one that can see him, since Cyperion's outside with them. You just hear falling back as thrusters ignite from beneath their feet, and they start taking to the sky. If you chase, there will be a speed or movement die challenge, but for right now, they are trying to fly away.
Okay, so I'm gonna say since I'm the only person that could fly.
That's a lie.
Oh, you could fly?
Kind of.
Angel can fly too.
And you didn't try to bust yourself out?
Glass can fly too. I mean, sort of.
Sort of.
Slide vertically.
Just
So
froze on her way up into the sky.
so those two take off and start going away. Who is going? You have 2 activations before Team 1 is going to go. So who would like to activate next?
Would I be able to?
Well, actually, Spectre, you said you had a question before you wanted to ask. I want to just cover that first before you make any decisions on your next activation.
What you just did kind of changed what I could do, so I guess I can hold my question off to another time.
Okay. Then whoever wants to activate, Angel can try and break free.
Angel, bake yourself out of there, please.
Like, get the fuck down from there.
Come on, man. Make us look bad over here.
All right. Okay, so since I noticed that the grip of said union rep loosened up a bit, what Angel is going to do is Angel's going to concentrate some light and try to make it expand forth like an explosion to open the hands up completely, so you can go free.
All right, cool. Then you are. I'm gonna roll to resist that, so it's an opposed. So D10 for strength, D10 for superhuman strength, D8 for combat expert, and a D8 for the duty bound. Duty bound distinction. I'm gonna roll, see what your difficulty is. I have no effect die, but you have to beat a D8 to instantly break free. Anything less than that will step down the complication holding you.
Okay.
Your difficulty for this task is a 13.
Okay. All right.
So I'm gonna say this is resolve.
Resolve.
Occult.
Okay. All right. Resolve.
I love learning about people's responses about their sheet, depending on how they go. Oh, all right. I'm like, oh, cool. Now I know something about you.
The appropriate distinction and your light sorcery.
Oh wait, no. You said resolve and what else?
Occult.
Occult. Okay. Where are you? Oh, there it is. Occult.
Come on, Angel. You got this.
Distinction and light sorcery. All right. I'm loving this. Where is that? Okay, there you are. All right. Got it. Okay. Oh, don't fail me now. Oh my god!
I don't know if that's good or bad.
I can't tell. And
I rolled a 20!
What?
And the effect die of a D10.
Let's go, Angel.
Oh my god.
you're no damsel. You got it.
There you go. Big man.
Oh my god.
You just pulled off a me roll.
I'm so proud of you.
Seriously.
From the ground outside, Cyperion sees the whole thing. From within the medical ward, there's just a flash of light coming from higher up in the sky. A specific lumen and hue that you would associate with Angel. Cyperion sees Angel's hands. From this distance, it looks like they just wiggle. As arcane light constructs manifest and conjure between his hands as a shield forms up around his body, and then his arms break open. The orb expands outward, and his cape expands out into those feathered wings, allowing him to maintain flight as the rep continues.
That was the coolest fucking thing I've seen you do.
Oh man.
Good job, man.
Next activation.
So, am I still in front of 2?
You're in front of 2, yes.
So, y'all mind if I go real quick?
Do a murder.
All right. I am going to use my area attack. And I want to
Okay.
go after the 2 robots that are still here. I'm going for kill. Go for blood.
Oil?
It's personal.
Circuits?
They
Oil and
touched me.
circuits.
You know
Oil
my
and
dad!
circuits. So
All right.
what I'm gonna do is, after seeing Angel get free from the robot and knowing that he's safe and no longer in their clutches, I decide to spring up and instead of laying there looking stupid, I must get up and get ready to fight. So I armor up and I'm getting ready to attack.
Okay, what kind of attack are we doing here?
I'm going for their limbs so they don't have to grab us again. So I'm going to cut their arms off.
Okay, so that's you're gonna try and impose a trauma. So to impose a trauma, it's you're going to have to roll, and you're gonna have to spend a hero point to make whatever asset you roll into a complication that is not stress oriented, but any type of action that they would try to do involving that, somebody else gets to use that in their defense.
Okay.
That's how you would cause a like an injury. It's called it's a special kind of complication.
So would I
trauma.
not be able to use area attack with that as well, or have to pick one or the other?
I don't think your area attack is refined enough to be able to do that specifically to multiple ones at once.
So I gotta pick one.
Unless you would also want to spend another hero point on top of that to push your effect that much more.
Would you guys be all right me using 2? Or do you want to save them for now?
Oh, wait a minute. Let me check.
No, go for it.
Go for it. Go for it.
Do
Okay.
something cool.
All right. I'm going to do something cool. So I'm going to use area attack as well.
All right. I got my die pool here. Let's see here. Resistance. And durability. And combat vet. And soldier. Your difficulty is a 15.
Okay. All right. Gotta build my die pool now.
15, yeah.
Sure. Sure. Well, when they're all rolling fucking 20s tonight.
This shit keeps
It was only because it was ranged combat.
All right. So you're trying to beat a 15. You're going dex. Dex,
Sorry.
ranged combat, distinction, and your energy blast. Oh, and since you're attacking 2, for your area attack, it's adding a d6 in. And when you pick, you're going to pick 2 effect dice.
Remind me for skill specialties, which D is that again?
It steps up the die that you would use for your ranged combat.
All right, so...
So what do you have for your ranged combat?
8. My range is at 8.
So it would step it
Yeah.
up to a d10.
Okay. Right. And then I'd also need another 8 for the weapon symbiote. And then for area attack, I'll add a d6, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Or 2d6?
One.
One
Okay.
extra. So it's you build your die pool and then you add a d6 for every target beyond the first.
Okay. So I'm rolling 4 here. And I have to beat a 15.
Yes. Must beat, cannot meet.
Okay. I beat it.
What'd you roll?
I got a 16.
Just barely.
Yeah, and my effect die.
You must pick two now because you're applying one and the other.
Okay. So my effect die will be. My effect die is a D6. Looks like.
You pick
D6
two.
and what else?
What else?
What was the other die?
It'd be both D6s.
Okay. So a D6 trauma. Oof. So they have a complication on them of a D6 trauma to their arm servos. All right, let me describe this quickly. The armor forms up, rolling over Cyperion's body, encasing him in his... It's not bioorganic. It's like techno-organic. It's bleeding
Yeah,
edge.
techno-organic.
Yeah, this techno-organic armor that flows over him like nanomachines and water. Just a symbiotic relationship between armor and wearer. Those throwing two arms forward, those two arms form together into a single cannon that opens wide, that flares at the end. As a massive beam flies out, a searing zack of a blast as the two Union reps throw their hands in front of themselves, crossing their arms in defensive postures in front of their faces, their forearms melting, the armor becoming deformed and warped as the blast coats the outside of them in thermal death. They each have to take a step back from the force of the blast before readjusting themselves and getting back into a fighting position, but their arms have definitely been compromised. Next activation.
Team 1.
Team 1. They're not happy.
Well,
Porcupines.
So they are going to activate... Yeah. We're going to go with that one. Those two boxes on the shoulders open up. Panels sliding to the side, revealing a series of X patterns. Both of them lock target onto Cyperion. Where they both initiate neutralization protocol.
can I?
Non-lethal neutralization.
Non-lethal.
Non-lethal
Non-lethal
neutralization.
neutralization.
Could I assist with this
Yes,
one
and-
with the reactive powers?
Yes, you
Sending
may.
you to Weenie Hut
Spend a
Shadow
hero
Realm.
point.
Are you guys okay with me spending a hero point to defend you?
Yes.
Go for it.
Weenie Hut.
The weenie-
Make a power test.
Okay.
So this will be composure.
Those non-lethal death robots certainly have a lot of functions in them, don't they?
Or not lethal.
About to hit me with Xbox logos.
Hold on.
Drunk anime missiles.
So it is composure,
Mm-hmm.
awareness,
Okay.
your distinction,
Okay.
and your teleport power.
Alrighty.
I'm gonna roll a standard difficulty. Must beat a 6.
Okay, so that is a 9 and then a d10 effect die.
Okay, Cyperion. How would
Yeah.
Cyperion get out of the way as a barrage of projectiles that happen to be rocket propelled speed towards his person? How would Cyperion defend against this? Would he try and dodge out of the way, shield up, something? But
I'm gonna have to dodge out the way because we took the shields away.
okay, so you're gonna build your die pool, and then we're gonna add an extra little benefit to it.
Okay. What does that sound?
Robots.
Weird.
You fucking robots. Damn
Sounds
it,
like
Dad!
air
Turn
conditioning's
off the
about to
robots, I'm
blow
playing
up.
my game!
It sounds like my air conditioning was about to blow up for some reason.
Please don't.
Yeah, seriously.
It's immersion.
Dexterity, dexterity, athletics, distinction. I'd say reflexes. Your super reflexes. And then add on the portal that Threshold just popped open next to you to allow you to jump out of the way.
Okay. Which D would that be?
A D10.
Oh, okay.
That was the effect die that was generated.
Okay. What do I have to beat?
You're setting my difficulty for me firing at you.
Oh, okay.
So pick your two highest after you roll it.
Yeah, roll this and
Gotcha.
pick your two highest.
Okay, that's 17.
Respectable.
Yeah, the D10 came out to a 9 and the D8 at 8.
That will miss. Here is an opportunity. You only have 3 hero points left. You can let the opportunity lie if you wish.
Bank it.
Bank it. What should we do? Should we have the opportunity go or should we bank it? I want it to be a team decision.
In order to activate an opportunity, we have to spend a hero point. So to bank it for a hero point, it literally is a wash anyway. So,
Do we have any complications? We could step down.
Angel still got a D8 of stress.
Oh.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm concerned for you.
So we can bring that down to a D6, am I right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Would y'all be okay
With a hero
doing that?
point.
Oh, with a hero
We'll
point.
spend, yeah, we'd have to use a hero point in order to do it, but stepping down the stress might be helpful if he gets hit again.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Look at you.
Angel,
looking
what do you
cute at
think?
each other.
Mm,
Wow.
guess we can. If everyone's okay with that.
We'll spend the hero point to step down Angel's stress to a D6.
Okay. Let me
Okay.
put that down to a D6.
Let's see if the other one hits.
Okay.
That was the first one firing. Let's see if the second one hits. No, but this one doesn't generate any hitches. Opportunities for you in the process. So
swing and a miss, I go through the portal.
Cyperion kind of goes to reflexively dodge out of the way. The missile's tracking as they fly through the air. But as Cyperion's dodging to one side, Threshold kind of anticipates it, opens up a portal just to where Cyperion is dodging to, and there's a moment of real disorientation, because it wasn't expecting a portal to pop up. And immediately, Cyperion's in a different location. It's pretty much in the same area, but displaced entirely from where he was before. Losing a little bit of orientation, you actually find yourself behind the Union reps. As the missiles land into the ground and don't explode, they hit the ground and you hear a hissing noise as they turn into large balls of almost tar-like consistency, inflating to about the size of a beach ball before stopping.
I hate that.
What the fuck?
Minetta, stop.
It's just the doom, 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 and they all grow. There's about
That's not where I thought you were going with that, but okay.
There's about 20 of them in the ground where Cyperion was standing. But now Cyperion is behind where they were.
I'm totally gonna kill these things next time.
Next, activation.
Threshold.
Threshold.
From her place among some of the concrete debris, some of the glass. Clean up or pursue?
You should drop those. You should portal those tar bombs onto the robots.
I think they've already deployed, right?
Clean up.
All right. And with that, she swings the gun down at the floor, and the portal opens up, and she's just like bored, just hoses the trigger, just standing there. You are the captain. I'm gonna play it by your rules.
Which target?
Whatever one is closest to either of the two remaining with us.
There are...
I'm not the
They're
leader.
all four.
I say over the.
Okay, hold on.
I'm not on your comms.
There are still four... Yeah, actually, yes, you are. There are four of
turned
them
it off.
still. There are the two that have the melted arms. There's the one that has the recreational flamethrower package. And there's the one that used the clamps to collect both Angel and Cyperion. Angel's currently flying in the air next to those two in the air.
Oh,
So the melted arm ones are down here with us.
Yeah, the melted arms ones are down on the ground. One of them
Wait a
has
minute, so the
12
flamethrower one
in the
is-
pain track.
So the flamethrower one would be in the sky. There's 4 in total, right?
Yes, there are
Yeah.
4 in total.
how's
Okay,
the
so the one with the
flamethrower
flamethrower, I guess, is with Angel.
Flamethrower one has a D8 pain.
Okay, but also Angel's by himself. So,
Rep 4 has D8, a D12 in pain and a D8 in anguish. That's the capture one.
okay, I'll go with that then.
You gonna hit the capture one?
Yeah, so she's gonna crouch down to where the concrete is, rest her gun there, as if she was gonna be looking down a scope that's been broken since she was probably 16. And the portal opens up in front of her to blue skies, and she's aiming down. Oh, there's Angel. Okay. And trying to get that shot.
Please, roll your attack. This is Dex. Ranged combat. Distinction. Do you think this is your portal being the more important aspect of this attack, giving
Yeah,
you a better
otherwise-
shot?
My ass ain't getting that shot in the sky normally.
So you're trying to beat a 14
14.
because it is just going to resist the damage.
Okay. No, that's not gonna work.
Angel looks up and sees a hole in the sky that it's as though you're looking up a hole through the floor. And you can see the ceiling of the med bay and Threshold leaning over that hole with a gun and just starts unloading energy rounds into the top of this machine. It turns and throws up a hand, and the shots ricochet off of it. Its attention now pointing up just before the portal closes again, and there's nothing in the sky.
Wow.
So this would normally be the end of the round, but I'm going to activate
Oh, good.
a third party. Angel,
Hmm.
You can you hear something back of your mind. A whisper. A hum. A forgotten lullaby. I need you to collect your resolve.
Okay.
Your oh, we get a proper sheet up here. Resolve. And your empathy.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
An appropriate distinction for defending against mental invasion.
Distinction, I would most likely say defending against mental warrior of light.
Okay. And if you have defense against psychic attacks of some kind that you feel like would be a mental defense,
I have something called mystic resistance.
bingo. Add that.
What?
Let's see here. So I'm gonna do.
I'm learning so much about my team.
D10.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
Would it be weird if I said I did?
Do you?
I mean, I do now, but I just wanted to make you uncomfortable.
Let's see
It
here.
worked.
So we
Cool.
have a D10 for manipulation. Oh no, presence. D10 for subterfuge. A D8 for inhuman mind, and D10 for power not listed.
Oh.
You said the I word.
There is no Terrigen crystals here. Relax. And I'm gonna spend a pair of doom points
Oh
here.
Lord!
Add,
I was like, it's coming at some point.
add a D8, and then spend another doom point to add a D10 from this other power in this power set.
It's other thing we can't tell you about.
And then I'm going to use a focus special effect and turn 2 D10 into a singular D12.
He used fucking 3 doom points.
So your insides exploding already?
No.
Roll your
Preemptive
dice so I know
melting.
what I'm trying to break through.
Kalima.
Please
Did
roll.
you
What
roll your
happened?
defense?
Roll your defense.
Okay.
You gotta roll a good number, man.
2 highest.
Come on, come on, come on. Oh, thank goodness. Okay. 2 highest. I got a 17.
Okay. It's mighty kind of you there. So, let's see here. I'm gonna spend a doom die to add a doom point to add another die to this total. So 7 and 7 is 14 plus another 8
Oh, he's hunting.
This is exciting, but also terrifying.
Yeah.
is a 22,
Ooh.
and I still have
Oh,
this
no.
here D12.
Oh no!
Oh,
So that's
you
a
are fucked.
D12 and a D6.
And it's an affliction, so I get to step up
Oh.
Rest
Hope you
in
didn't mean your
peace.
teammates.
Absent a chat, boys.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I'm going to spend another doom point. Mind you, to have this
Why are
happen...
you sending him to the shadow realm already?
Mind you, to do this, I had to spend 5 doom points, okay? This was all my resources. I just unloaded X Factor level 3 right now, right?
Oh. Oh my god.
It's Virgil with the boat.
So that's a D12, D8 effect dice, both on Angel.
Jesus Christ.
Because we're coming so close to the end of the session, I'm going to take a little narrative control here. There's a moment where everything stops. Light begins pouring out of Angel's eyes and open mouth. His hands become jets of coalesced luminescence. As for a moment, the sky goes from early evening to midday in the desert. Everyone is blinded for a moment. Angel turns, unloads a barrage of javelins of light down towards the open wall of the school before there is a flicker. And there is a second image superimposed over Angel, emanating from the necklace. A wizened figure with resplendent robes of light, sort of reminiscent of what Angel wears, encases your fellow hero. And the barrage stops as calm exhaustion overcomes Angel as he plummets to the ground. That same energy that protected him in the sky, that stopped him from attacking, as Cyperion and the reps dive out of the way from the attacks. That same energy stops him from cratering into the ground with his body. And as that image fades, he comes to a rest. The Union reps stand at attention and turn. And there's a moment of silence before jets of steam release from their chests. And the front panels fold forward as pilots sit in the armor, completely passed out. Angel is currently not able to roleplay in this moment. What do the rest of you do?
Do you want us to
I'm
get
jetting
him?
in to grab him.
Yeah.
Cyperion runs over to get him.
Yeah,
Okay.
I jet over.
What about Threshold and Glass?
Glass, do we want to bring him back to Horizon before the rest of this place gets wind of this?
Yeah.
She's gonna run up behind Cyperion and try and catch up. I'll bring him back. I'll get him to relativity. I'll get him to weirding one. He is super unconscious, right? Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's alive, but unconscious.
Good, because I'm shit for fucking medical care. I can get him back.
Do it.
Get him back. Take care of him. I'll take care of whatever the hell is going on here, and I'm gonna go make sure the pilots are alive. And I use the slide ability and slide up, ice coalescing under the heels as Glass goes over and tries to see if they're okay inside the armors.
They're all wearing the same style of uniform with Union across the chest. And they all look to be sleeping rather soundly. The armors, the rep armor in the sky, does similar, but their thrusters actually safely bring them back down to the ground, coming to a rest. The pilots, arms out into their control ports for the arm usage, just kind of slack. As Threshold opens a portal and begins the hopscotch back to New York
Scoops
City.
him up over her shoulder pretty easily. All right, buddy, we're gonna go home. Come on. And she's just gone, enveloping him into that smoky mirror.
And as Hype takes off from the Horizon Foundation Tower, heading back to New Paltz to rejoin her team, we end tonight's game.
God damn it, that was so cool!
That was really cool.
Oh my god.
I had no idea what was happening, but I'm like, he spent like 5 points to do that.
That's one hell of an
I'm
exit.
speechless.
I had no idea where you were going with that.
Oh my god, the PR
kind of-
nightmare Glass is gonna have.
Mhm.
Oh,
I was like, you gotta turn to
annoy
Archangel
me.
now.
If you annoy me and portal at me
Portal
in the middle of these press releases, I'ma smack you silly.
go ahead and find me.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us. And until we see you next time, remember to always stay evil. Good night, everybody.